Got held up. Still out there? Yes, sir.
You going back in? There's still men out there. God damn. When I go home, people ask me, "Hey, Hoot, why do you do it, man? Why? Some kind of war junkie?" I won't say a goddamn word. Why? They won't understand. They won't understand why we do it. They won't understand it's about the men next to you. And that's it. That's all it is.
Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, #1 listener-supported radio, the printing press for freedom at a time when freedom is needed the most.
Join me at Revolution Radio, Studio B, at 11 a.m. on Saturday for Free Association, when we take a look at philosophy, spirituality, psychology, social issues, and geopolitics. It's every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on Studio B at freedomslips.com.
What is going on here? I demand an explanation.
We work for a highly funded yet unofficial government agency.
An intelligence organization that fears intelligence, historically not awesome.
The United States is a democratic nation. Here the people rule. We build no walls to keep them in, nor organize any system of police to keep them mute.
Freedom isn't free at all, but it comes with the highest of costs.
We have you, the listeners, and the hosts at
Revolution Radio,
for allowing us to bring you a platform of free speech.
Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, clocks run out. Time's up.
Wind is blowing cold and dark on the road and no way out. Broken hearts, the smoking gun on the run.
Attempt to fill 24 hours of programming. Here's some bullshit that happened somewhere today. We've got some footage here of the bullshit, which began just after 3 o'clock this afternoon, when residents in this neighborhood were shocked to see this fairly common thing happening. An attractive witness described the event in breathless terms.
I went to my window and I was like, whoa, there's some bullshit happening.
That happened right over there.
I'm an older man, so you can trust what I say.
Authorities in special uniforms rushed to the scene to stand around while our cameras filmed them. Our reporter Keith Collins joins us now live from the scene of the bullshit through the use of expensive technology. Good to be with you again, Keith. We have a colorful graphic here that shows instances of bullshit like this are on the rise. Is that right?
Yes, although why is unclear. Some say it's because of one fucking reason. Others say it's because of some other fucking reason. I talked to this random expert on the subject who told me this thing you're about to hear him say right after he points at a piece of paper.
I spent my entire life attending the nation's most prestigious schools to talk about bullshit like this. I'm really just happy to be on TV.
Now let's see if we can drag this out a little longer by showing emails written by some of our viewers. I once saw some stuff kind of like the shit you're talking about happen. I have nothing more to add. Another person says, I am angry.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the broken down, low-rent, sleazy, double greasy pirate radio Nut Hut studios, it's time for the very first ever Southern...
Attention. Attention, please. You are receiving a pirate radio transmission. On the air for testing purposes only. Do you receive? Do you receive?
It's Friday night. It was a beautiful day. Sun beat down. We got a good one planned for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being here. Oh, Into the Microcosm is on the air. Me and Del were singing Little Runaway. I was flying, yeah, running down a dream that never would come to me. Working on a mystery, going wherever it Epic Tournament. Are you there?
I am here.
Excellent. Watch out. Hey, I heard there was some big waves at the pipe. Heard the pipeline.
Maybe there's big waves all over the last 2 days because a storm was blowing in, and it never really hit a little bit at night over here in Maui, but not too bad. We're expecting to get a lot more rain.
There's a storm.
There's actually guys out in parachute, what do you call it, parasailing today. The whales are gone, but now you got the jet skis and parasails out there. So
the whales are gone, but there's a storm coming.
Which brings some big waves, yeah.
That's right. Well, hey, it's Friday night. Epic Tournament's here. I'm here. Whoa, somebody else in here. Who's not here? Oh, I know who it is. Hold on. This show's like herding cats. All right, there he is. Rock and Rio. God damn it. Get in here. He's been hanging around talking to chicks out the backstage door. Help myself sometimes. I know we put the word out a couple weeks ago that Rock and Rio and Epic Journeyman were single. looking to mingle. So ever since then, Rio,
I've been playing for a fool.
he's been hanging around, talking to the ladies. So Epic German, you weren't here last week during the storm, the big storm, the solar tsunami, the total end of the world, and yet here we are, brother.
I survived. There was a big storm on the Big Island. I was stuck in there. Yeah, it was pretty bad, man. Like, it wasn't like dangerous, but it was like super loud, a lot of rain. So the Koki frogs were freaking out. You know, it was like a fire alarm going off the whole time with those stupid frogs, man.
Yeah, well, there was a fire. Rain, right? There was a fire alarm going off last week about all these sunspots blowing wind our way, blowing our direction.
Yeah, they're coming back too.
Yeah, oh, that's what is that? Now the thing is, it's like it's not over yet. Rock and Rio.
Yeah, it's not over yet. Next week, it'll be back again.
Oh, it'll be back because it'll have rotated.
Yeah, it'll come around the other side of the sun again.
We're gonna come back for the kill shot. That old, what's his right? What was that guy's name?
The ex-colonel guy, right?
Yeah.
I forget his name.
The dude who used to come on Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
With the kill shot shit, everybody used to go on there. Dr. Doom. What the hell was that guy's name? Someone will say in the chat. It doesn't matter. Anyways, he's the original remote viewer. He's the one that started it all. Let me ask you a question, man. What good is remote viewing if you fucking can't put a date on it? Who cares? Hey, some shit happens sometime in the future. Maybe.
Or sometime in the past. I'm not really sure which.
Not sure.
Right.
That's right. I don't know, man. Well, anyway, to each his own. I mean, everybody's got to have their something, right? Everybody's got to have, yeah, dames, exactly. Amber in the chat. Everybody's got to have their something, right? But I'm telling you, man, I'm getting sick and tired of all these predictions and all this bullshit. You know? I'm gonna
predict they won't come true.
No, look, I'm gonna start getting
Jimmy. You know,
successful predictor.
You know why, Jimmy? Because you just don't trust the plan.
No, I don't trust the fucking plan. No, I'm just getting sick of it. I mean, how much of the alternative media is prediction? I mean, who predicted something and got it right? Bill Cooper? What, he predicted 9/11, and then what? Alex Jones jumped on the gravy train or whatever. You know, who's predicted anything? Name me one thing that's happened that someone predicted. Can you guys think of anything off the top of your head? Because we didn't talk about this before the show. So there's got to be one thing. Is there one thing somebody predicted besides 9/11? That's happened? Silence.
I'm trying to think of a good one. No, I can't think of a good one. I can't. There's people who claim credit for post facto or try to tie in post facto. Yeah, this is what it really meant. See, I had it right. And it's like, well, no, not really. It's not what you said.
Yeah, well.
Right. No, I can't think of a good one.
We've actually been pretty accurate on predictions over the course of the time now.
I know.
Smaller predictions.
I know.
Yeah, not the big things like the kills that come across the bow. Solar flare.
We don't ever circle back around and take credit for that shit either.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's the difference. We don't give a shit if we're, you know, it's not about, you know, just test our accuracy, man. I mean, who's going to go back and listen to these shows, dude? We've been doing shows for how long? Who's going to go back there and look at dates when we said shit and go, yeah, see, they were right. You know, I mean, listen. I'm going to tell you right now, we've been telling you what's going to happen for a long time. And it's not a prediction in the sense that we're saying that some unfathomable thing will happen someday. We started telling you like 3 or 4 years ago that you're going to wake up one morning and there's not going to be any money in your bank account. And then you're going to have to go down and scan your eyeball, and you're going to have to, that's the only way you're going to get any access to anything. And we've been telling you that. All right? Now, what happened in Cuba? You see what just happened
suddenly
in Cuba?
There's no money in the bank.
Yeah.
No money in the bank. They went to sleep that night, and then they woke up the next day. It was a day just like any other day. And they said, you know, I think I'll go down and get me an espresso. Let me get a little $20 bill out of the bank account. And there is no money in there anymore. Now, did you see silver today? Silver busted out over $30 and went up $2 in one day. So they've been waiting. Everybody's been waiting for it to get up to $30. When it gets to $30, what's going to happen? It's going to go up. That's what they say. It's going to go up. Well, listen, the market's closed for the weekend. You got time to regroup yourself. You know, maybe on Monday it'll go up and go up and go up. But look at gold, $2,400, over $2,400 an ounce. Okay, gold's gone up, what, $300 since we talked about it? If you would have taken your money out of the bank, Rio, and put it in gold, okay, paper gold, you don't have to take delivery, just paper gold, it went up $300. So you could add however many ounces your bank account would add up to, you know, multiply that times 300, and that's how much money you would have been making instead of watching your money dwindle away to a pile of nothing in the bank where you can't even buy a Happy Meal for $15.95 or whatever.
Well, what's interesting about this is that it's the opposite of what's supposed to happen, right? Like, so the market's actually the highest it's ever been, and gold's going up. Like, it's supposed to be the other way around. Like, gold's supposed to rise as the market goes down because people panic and invest in, you know, metals and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But it's actually, it's kind of unsettling, actually. It's 40,000 in the Dow. I think it's still finished over 40,000 again today. And yeah, and gold's up too. It's like, it's not supposed to happen. It makes me kind of worry a little bit. Like, what's up with that?
Listen,
it defies all economics rules.
I watched.
Well, as the dollar becomes less and less valuable, the price of gold goes up. That's how it works.
Let me tell you about why
it takes you more dollars to buy the same amount of gold.
Let me tell you why gold's going up there, Rock and Rio. Gold's going up because banks have gold and banks are buying gold. And banks need gold to go up. Banks need money right now. Banks need money. Listen, this summer, in another 3 months, the $7.3 trillion debt that we owe in America is going to come due. Okay? When that happens, what do? They sell bonds, right? That's how they get the money for that, right? That's how they fund it. Well, China just dumped the largest amount of bonds that they've ever dumped yesterday. They've been dumping it. Everyone's dumping it. What happens if that shit defaults? What happens if America defaults on $7.3 trillion?
It won't, though.
What happens? What would happen?
You lose your credit rating, inflation. Well, no, inflation would go up, right? Because did a lower credit rating and the interest rate would be higher, and then the money would be worth less. So inflation would be higher.
So when interest rates are high, right? What happens with bonds? They're low.
Well, they're more valuable, actually.
They're low. When interest rates are low, bonds are high. So the banks bought bonds when interest rates were low. They're holding stuff that's no good. If they put it out there, they're gonna have to take a loss. They can't take that loss. See what I'm saying? They can't take the loss. It's a seesaw. So they got to do something. So what's going to happen? Well, listen, they keep the price of gold down, right? So once it gets to a certain point, and they're going to let it go. So their gold that they hold is worth more money. Same thing with this silver. J.P. Morgan Chase has been manipulating the silver market for the last 25, 30 years. They have so much paper on there that they can just manipulate the price up and down at will. How far do you think they'll let it go up? People say it's going to go up to $50. $50 an ounce. And stay there. You know, not go back down. It'll just stay there, $50, you know, around there. Like it's been sitting at 20 for the last however long. So
metals goes out the window, don't you think? Though, like once energy becomes so prevalent and expensive, like when fusion becomes a reality, it's alchemy. You can make any metal you want, right? It's just a matter of the energy you put into it. So then what happens? I think that's why they don't let it happen, right? Because it'll crash the market in that sense. You have to have a different economy.
Well,
we can't be based around something like that because we'll be basically worthless.
Even though you hear a lot of people, and it's good advice. It's good advice when people say, if you don't have it in your hand, you don't have it, right?
That's right. Somewhat true, yes.
So that's what people say about buying precious metal. If you don't have it in your hand, you don't have it. Let me ask you a question. When you put your effing money in the bank, do you have anything in your effing hand? No. What's in the bank? Is there anything in the bank for you? No.
They only have to hold 5% of the reserves or something like that. I think it got dropped, actually.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
All you have is a piece of little plastic with a chip in it that's associated with a number that's associated with the number of whatever you're supposed to have in the bank.
That's right.
It's all just.
So what's the difference between
connected numbers?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What's the difference between that and some paper ass gold? Where you go put all your money on paper gold rather than keeping it in the bank. And they say don't do that because you have nothing in your hand. Well, fuck that, man. If I got nothing in my hand, but I got 100 ounces of paper gold, I just made $300 an ounce, man.
But did you?
Yeah, I did. Because I can cash my shit right now. I can take it out just like a bank account. So I'm not giving you financial advice, ladies and gentlemen. But, I mean, for the life of me and for the last 6 months, we've been sitting here trying to figure out where it is that you can put your money that's going to be safe. You know, because, honestly, do you think it's safe in a bank right now? No. And people used to hide that shit in their mattress because they didn't trust banks.
I was just going to say under the mattress is better, but, you know, when they say that piece of paper is worthless, then what? Well, we don't take paper anymore.
Yeah, well, what happens when, I mean, how much of those, so Silicon Valley Bank crashed out, and they stepped in and made everybody whole because of the people who had the money in that bank. There were certain groups of people that had money in that bank, and those people made phone calls. They said, Jack, you better make sure you get me my money, and they got their money. But
nobody, as far as I know, nobody lost money in that.
No.
That the government stepped in that.
No, but
which is kind of odd, right?
But the working man,
there's a couple, but that one specifically.
But the working man, dude, the working man's money in the bank, the money you're using to pay your bills, your mortgage payments, and your insurance payments, and all that stuff. Now that's going to be gone, and there's going to be so many people claiming for that. There ain't going to be no money in that thing to even cover it. I mean, seriously. Where's this money supposed to come from all of a sudden magically? Man, I know people have been saying it for a long time. Look, man, I think we're there, man. Wouldn't you say we're there? Are we there? Are we here? Are we on the precipice of this financial thing that everyone's been literally? You go back and listen to Bill Cooper's shows from 30 years ago and listen to the ads on there. They're telling you to buy gold. Gold was like $250 an ounce back then. Literally. It's 10 times more now than it was then. And they were still telling me back then to buy gold.
I remember gold being $50 some odd an ounce as a kid. It was a big deal when it made it over $200 an ounce. Yeah, it was huge.
I know. And everyone's into the crypto too. So, right? So what's up, man? You know, what do you do? What do you do in this modern 2024? Where do you put your money? You put it in a bank? You put it in crypto? I mean, I don't know. Crypto's not like a bank, you know. Crypto goes up and down. Gold goes up and down too. Do you think gold's ever going to go back down? You think gold's ever going to go back down to, I don't know. Do you think it'll even go back down $400?
If fusion comes around, it will. Yeah, because elements are it's atoms, right? They exist all around us everywhere. So it's a matter of making those atoms into whatever you want it to be. And it takes energy to do that. But if you have unlimited energy, essentially, then alchemy is a reality. You can make whatever you want out of atoms. You just mix them however you want to, right? Proton here, neutron there, electron there, right? That's it. You know, there's a certain amount of gold that's made in nuclear reactors, like on submarines, all the time, right? I mean, it's not a lot, but it wasn't there before. It literally turns the lead in the shielding of the reactor to gold. So it's about that energy, right? Bombarding the shielding with the neutron radiation. And as it does that, it actually creates another element, right? It wasn't there, but when they put it together, it didn't have that, you know. Most of the shielding is from water. It's not really from the lead. But the lead in that reactor compartment, there's a certain amount of gold. Every time they shut those reactors down, they can find and get out of there.
Yeah, but isn't it something like, milligrams worth of gold?
It's not much. It's not
tiny,
much,
tiny, right?
Yeah, but the point is it does it, right? But when you have fusion, which isn't fission, right? Fission's breaking down uranium, plutonium, whatever. And with fusion, it's just, turning hydrogen into helium, essentially, right?
Yeah,
And
well, that ain't going to be happening anytime soon, dude. Okay,
I don't know. It's pretty sad. The premise is there. I mean, I was working on it, not me personally with my lab coat and beakers or anything, but at General Atomics with ITER.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, when that's possible, we'll have replicators and we'll be flying around in flying cars, dude.
Yeah.
That shit ain't going to happen anytime soon. I'm talking about right now in 2024. I'm talking about people saving their ass before they go down the drain right now.
But by 2034, it's pretty possible, man.
Okay, it's 2024. And people are about to go down the drain right now. It's $15.99 for a meal at McDonald's, dude.
It's crazy. I know.
Yeah. Okay, so how long are you going to leave your $10,000 retirement in the bank and watch it get dwindled away to nothing? You can't buy shit with it. How long are you going to do that? You can't wait till they can develop gold. Gold's not going to be worth anything. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you, listen, I'm not giving people advice, but I'm just saying, if I had any kind of money in the bank that I was trying to protect, I would get it out of the bank somehow. Figure out a way to get it out and figure out a way to, I don't know. I don't know what to tell people to do. I've been trying to figure it out. I've been trying to ask people. I know that have money. Nobody knows.
Well, the problem is, Jimmy, if you have a fairly decent-sized bank account, right, and you walk into the bank and say, hey, I'd like to take out $100,000 in cash. They don't have that much cash to give you. I mean, they might have $100,000 in the bank in general, but if you got 100 people go in there and say they want $100,000, they're not going to have that.
That is their biggest fear right now. The biggest fear in the world for banks right now is for anyone and everyone to hear what I'm saying and take their money out.
And make a run on the banks. Yeah, there's not any capital in there. 5%, right? 5%. The first 5% might get their money. 95% won't.
It's dangerous. It's a dangerous time. I'm just saying. I feel like we're on the precipice of something that is unprecedented in the sense that, seriously, I mean, I've never actually looked into it. What happened to people's money in the Depression that was in the bank? Their money just disappeared, or did they just still have their money?
No, it's gone.
Yeah, their money is just worthless. Yeah, I mean, so basically, yeah, if they held on to it the whole time, like if they didn't do anything, it would recoup eventually years later, World War II, but after World War II in particular. But what happened was all the robber baron mentality-minded people, bought everything, pennies on the dollar, right, and enriched themselves, knowing it would recover. So they had the capital to invest, right? So they bought out they literally bought people's farms from out from under them. So that's why we have corporate farming today. Big part of it, anyway.
You see, it's $1,000 a month in Florida for home insurance. Do you see this?
If you can get insurance at all, like the insurance companies pulled out of Florida,
right?
A lot of them.
Exactly. So I mean, is there simultaneous industries working together to destroy our way of life? So if you can't get insurance, how long is it before the mortgage company either has to provide it for you or demands their money in full? Give me my money right now. Give me my money right now. Period. I don't care. Get insurance. I don't care. I want my money. Take everybody's house.
Get it from Lloyd's of London, right?
Exactly. They just want to take everybody's houses away and then just pass them on over to BlackRock, so you can rent.
Insure your ankle while you're at it. So you got to go to Lloyd's of London.
Rent a house.
Insure your hands for playing piano, whatever it might be, because that's where you're going to be at. You're going to have to go to the extremes because it's an extreme. Insurance company is going to have to insure you. Like I can't get my place insured on the Big Island because of that eruption. I'm far away, not that far away, but I mean physically pretty far from where Vent 8 went off during that eruption. But yeah, I can't get insurance there. And Florida's in the same boat. So if you're talking about getting a mortgage from the bank, you have to have insurance to have a mortgage, right? Luckily, I don't have a mortgage. But what if I did? Then what? Exactly what you're saying is true. They could say, well, no, we can't, You're under. Yeah. They're contractually obligated to honor the original agreement. But what about new people? What about you trying to sell your house? You can't sell it because nobody's going to give them the money unless you buy it cash. Period. Right?
Yeah, my sister just went through that. So, it's,
even the original agreement, and even the original agreement doesn't mean shit. A bank can call their note anytime. They can say anytime. Banks can say anytime. Give me my money right now, or get out.
Well, if you're making your payments, generally speaking, They can't just say we need it all right now.
No, they can.
They have to honor the original contract.
They can.
Generally.
Yes, they can. That's exactly what happened to people.
It depends how it's written. Yeah,
that's exactly how it happened in the Depression. That's exactly what happened. So, I don't think that law has been changed, dude. And so, they just come right in there and just say, you know what? Give me my money.
I always imagine that kind of thuggish guy. I want my money.
Exactly.
Give me my money. Right? I showed up on your doorstep.
You're gonna be like that dude selling rugs on Goodfellas, bothering Jimmy for his money all the time. You saw it happen to him, didn't you? Don't bother people, man. All right, listen. Listen to the Microcosmos Revolution.radio, fully listener supported. Come on down, become supporters. It's the bottom of the hour. First hour is almost over. So be supporters of that free speech that you love. 24 hours a day, Studio A, 24 hours a day, Studio B. 48 total hours of free speech going on here. Come on down. Keep it going. Don't tune into the dead air of silence. That's right. Silence is silence golden? You got the freedom of speech. Go ahead and make it happen for yourself over here at Revolution.radio. Come on down. Become supporters. All right, listen. What else is on you guys' radar? Some things that had crossed my mind recently when I saw this Cuba thing. It got my hackles up because there's another example. Now, I have a piece of information along the same lines, and this is a description of an individual from Australia who moved down to Iceland. And he's talking about what's going on down there. Now, have you guys heard anything else about this Cuba situation? Because it hasn't been on the main news at all that I've noticed.
I haven't heard about the Cuba situation, though.
Yeah, I only saw it because you sent it over. So I haven't heard it on any other outlet about Cuba.
Well, there you go. Into the microcosm, MFer. All right, listen. Let me give you guys this report real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. I'm just going to read this out real quick. I'm an Australian, but I live in Iceland. Let me see here. Iceland, a country that already has an encompassing digital ID system. If you're wondering how Australia's new system will play out, I'll tell you here. And also how Australians who don't want digital ID can attempt to protect themselves, at least for a short while. In Iceland, the digital ID system is linked to each person's Kennitala, or social security number. I sign into everything with my digital ID via my phone. Anytime I access my bank account, phone services, accounting, tax, insurance, credit score, manage my assets, car, house, power bill, medical record, when I vote, even when I pull up a store receipt of something I bought, it's all linked to my digital ID. Everything in one place, everything. You cannot have a digital ID to live in Iceland. It's impossible. If you get the power turned on, you get a phone number, buy a register, a car, rent or buy a house, or even buy certain items without having a digital ID. It has its benefits. It makes life more streamlined, so on and so forth. Let me see here. In Iceland, in the Icelandic government and tax office has access to my bank accounts, knows every transaction I make, what I spend, what I earn. They don't need a warrant. They don't need anything to access it. It's theirs just for the probable cause to look at it. So he's telling Australians this is what's coming for you. Over the years, the government will make it impossible to opt out of the digital ID system. You'll need one for everything. And most importantly, they'll coerce Australians into adopting it by creating laws that link the most important thing you need to survive in today's modern world, your bank account. Basically, he goes into this whole thing and gets down to this, to the bottom line, which is what I wanted to let you guys know about, which is, he says, one backup plan that may help you for a while is becoming an e-resident of another country. So you never have to go to the other country to claim your e-residency. It's a background check, a small payment, and you could be sent a nationally recognized ID card from that nation that will allow you, among many other things, to set up a bank account. So
I'm hearing the music already.
Yeah. So
I'm
Palau.
totally hearing it.
Listen.
Asgardia.
I know. Well, listen.
Asgardia.
It's Estonia.
Well, Estonia is the one that started it. Estonia is the first nation that adopted that.
Okay.
Yeah,
and it's Palau. So I think I'm going to do mine in Palau.
Oh, totally, man. I got friends that hook me up for Palau here in the islands.
There you go. So it says right here, all you do is simply search for Palau Digital Registry or Estonia e-residency, and go ahead and take care of your thing. It says here.
Or Asgardia. Do Asgardia, man. We can be out there in space. Asgardia.
Yeah, well, I don't know about Asgardia, but I definitely know Palau. Is saying here you can get a digital residency. I don't know if you can do it on Asgardia. Why don't you check, Epic Journeyman?
No, you can't. They have passports and everything. Remember, they did that whole launch. As a Russian guy started it right originally, and they started the satellite. You go up there and put so many megabits out in space that's your residency, and then you get a passport for Asgardia.
I just don't remember.
You don't remember that? We did a show on it a couple years ago when it launched.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that song was hilarious. That was the national anthem. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I remember doing the show on it. I'm just saying, I don't know if you can get a digital ID card from Estonia because the dude didn't say that in this article, but if you can, that'd be cool too. But here, at least I know for sure these two you can, but I'm not sure on Asgardia. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about Asgardia.
Maybe you should get all three, right?
Yeah, exactly. You got places to go.
You have options.
I'm hearing.
But Estonia is like Iceland right now. That was Estonia originally. Their digital ID card did all that first. So you're just jumping from one to another, really, because all your stuff's on the economy over there, Estonia. It's all based on your digital ID card there. So you're not really escaping, the digital overlords in Iceland by going to Estonia. Where Palau, maybe so, because Palau, I mean, it's literally a tribal community basically over there. It's very tight knit, and you're not ever going to go there necessarily. You're just getting the citizenship, right? But
that's what I'm saying. I'm going to get mine, Palau.
Well, Palau's cool, man.
But I mean, still, what does that mean? You can get a digital ID from some other place, but still, what does that mean? Will that get you in the mall downtown or whatever?
No, when the Silicon Valley giants decide to close down the Apple store in your community there in San Francisco, wherever you're at, it's not going to get you in, though.
No. No, that's the thing about it too, is that we're just moving into a time that seems, that doesn't seem like there's no way it's just going to peacefully get to where it has to go. So, there's a critical path, it's going somewhere. It's going to get there incrementally, whether you know about it or not. One day you'll just arrive. And you'll be there because it's been moving along behind the scenes. And,
you're asking what's on the radar of us earlier, and that's what's been on my radar this week. I mean, a lot of times it's on my radar, but more so this week than the other. And it's this idea of societal apathy, where everybody knows this stuff is coming and they're overwhelmed by it and they don't know what to do about it, right? And so they're not enthused about politics or political candidates or anything like that. They're not enthused about their governments. They're not enthused about their work. They're not enthused about anything because they're basically in a state of apathy where, this is my observation, where it's just like, what can I do? What can I do about it? Like, there's this kind of humbling spectacle that you you're part of and know you want to change and do something to change momentum, and nobody knows how to stop the big wheel that's already taking off, gathering like a snowball down the hill coming at you, right, and getting bigger as it comes. How do you stop it? It's already coming down the hill, right? What do you do? It takes more than one of us, right? One of us is just a bump in the road, is rolling down the hill, right? Maybe it's averted a little bit, but what do you do? And I think that's the thing. Like it's manifesting itself in every factor of life. I think. I mean, that's my observation. I don't know if everybody else feels the same way, but I'm seeing that like this kind of, it's not apathy per se. It's just a kind of sense of not helplessness, but it's like a resignation. Like the ship lost power and it's being sucked into the sun, right? Well, it's being sucked into the sun. We're heading there. What are we gonna do, right?
Well, the way to fight Goliath is to step up and sling a rock at his head.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the only way it's gonna work, right?
Man, there's only one way to sling rocks at this giant's head, and nobody will do it. You can't even get people to quit buying gas for a week.
Well, you can't quit buying gas for a week because then you can't go to work, and then you got no money.
It's called a
So
strike.
you got no money.
Resolve, yeah.
It's called a
Resolve,
strike, man.
Yep.
It's called a
worldwide
national strike. Forget this shit. Listen. We really don't think about it. You probably don't sit around contemplating it, but think about just the 6 cents, 10 cents, 12 cents, 25 cents tax on every single thing that's bought in a city in a day. You know how much money they make on taxes in a day? In just one day. Retail. Shit. Just you going doing what you normally do in one day. How much New York City makes in a day.
Well, you figure there's how many million people in New York, right? How many dollars a day does an average person spend? Say $20.
Minimum.
20. At least, yeah.
In Manhattan, it's probably $50.
It's $100 a day in New York.
Not counting rent, just gas.
Yeah,
and
just
food.
your daily expenses, right?
Yep.
So, how many million times $100?
How much tax?
Say 10% of that.
No. What's your tax in New York?
8.5.
All right.
But that's state tax. There's city tax on top of that. So if you're in Manhattan, it's probably 10% or 12%. I'm not sure what the actual number is. But so 100 times 8 million times 10. That's $8 billion a day, right? That they're collecting.
At least 800 million.
800 million.
Yeah.
Just in the city. Just in the city.
Right. That's what I'm saying. People don't realize. Listen, all they care about is this money that moves. If money doesn't move, nothing happens. If nothing gets sold, nothing moves. Period. The end. Everyone, we have the power, but people don't want to utilize it. They're too busy, scrapping with each other about who's right about what. Who's right about what and which color is better than the other one or whatever, and which religion should we follow. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it ain't Green Acres anymore. It's funny? We played that Green Acres a couple weeks ago, and then the next, couple days I saw an AI where they put Donald Trump as the dude from Green Acres in the thing. That shit was funny. Did you see his?
That actually works with Ivana Trump or with Marla Maples, right?
It totally
very
does.
much like the Zsa Zsa Gabor character, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if old Trump, was attracted to old Zsa Zsa or whatever her name was.
Oh, totally, absolutely, 100%.
Were they really twins, or was just two people just acting like they were twins?
No, they were twins.
And the Jackson 5 were brothers.
Maybe they were clones.
The Jackson 5
were brothers.
The Jackson 5 were all brothers there. Huh?
There's no way.
No way they're brothers, man. Somehow that dude, they took the Jackson 5 and they just brought them together as a group, a singing group, and then just put him over there with that dude, with that father figure guy.
Yeah.
The drunk wife beater guy who stole all the money. Isn't there always a drunk father, the wife beater that steals all the money in these situations?
In music, particularly with child actors and child.
Right. Joe Jackson. Jackson is pretty famous for that. And then
name one that isn't. I can't think of a single famous child celebrity who didn't have the abusive drunk parents or whatever at some point, especially the father. Yeah, almost all of them. I'm hard pressed to think of one that
look
isn't.
at what happened to poor Britney, right?
Yeah.
Oh no. I'm gonna go shave my head. Take a vow.
At the airport.
Shave my head. Take a vow of silence.
You just pass out flowers at the airport?
No, I won't pass out flowers at the airport. I'll just take a vow of silence and shave my head. I'll never say another word. I'm talk till I'm blue in the face and I'm done talking. That's what I'm gonna say. I'll have a shirt made. I talk until I'm blue in the face. And now I'm done talking.
Just promise me you won't get white makeup and a mime shirt.
And then on the back of my shirt, I'll write, "Shut up. I'm not done talking." So, anyways, I don't know, man. These predictions have just gotten to the point now where I've had enough, like I was saying earlier. You know what I mean? I've had enough of it. You know, if it's going to end, then let it end, homie. You know? Let it end then, if that's what's going to happen. Because everybody says, I don't want to be right about my prediction. But, yeah, the world's going to end, man. Yeah. I don't want to be right, though.
The end is supposed to start tomorrow, so.
I know. Well, I haven't begun to talk about the end yet because I was building up to it, Rio. But
next segment,
now that you bring it up, you remember a long time ago, there was a Nicolas Cage joint called Knowing.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Yeah, guess what? The day the sun blows is May 19th, 2024. In the movie.
And we actually are supposed to get the last solar storm. It's supposed to hit tonight or tomorrow night, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be one more flare that's going to hit us.
So imagine this is no longer the northern lights. It's just the lights, right? Because it's so prevalent. It's hitting all the time. It's just the lights. It's not the northern lights anymore.
It was actually
in Arizona.
The other day, it was actually viewable as far south as Florida.
Yeah. I was hoping to make it down here. We're a little bit too far south down here.
I guess you're still south of Florida, right? That Florida and Texas latitude, you're still lower.
Yeah, we're southernmost state. Yep.
But yeah, it's quite interesting to see the sky glowing a weird shade. You know. I mean, where I am, it didn't. You don't really see the ribbons, but we saw the color. It's kind of.
Well, you can see it with the polarized camera of the iPhone, right? So people were showing the purple and stuff because the polarized camera lenses pick it up.
Yeah, it's very. I didn't try it with the phone, but like you could see the sky had a strange tint to it, a strange tint and a strange glow to it the other night. It was it's really weird.
That's the color of the magnetosphere being blown off the surface of the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we got to worry about is something like that, right? Like, this will happen to Mars,
Karen asked, why are the northern lights red and pink? It actually has to do with the amount of energy involved and where in the atmosphere it reacts. The red and pink lights are higher up in the atmosphere than the green lights are, but they require a much higher energy to be seen because it reacts with the oxygen in the upper atmosphere. The green light.
It's like the sunset. Yeah, it's the longer wavelengths, right? So the red goes the farthest, the magenta, the red hue goes the farthest.
Rock and Rio.
But it's less visible.
Rock and Rio. Did you now? Biden threw down the gauntlet this week to Trump for
a TikTok video. Yeah.
For a showdown at the hoedown. Yeah. Now, are you prepared to come back from at the top of the hour and organic sharpen that throwdown?
I could.
I'm putting you on the spot, man. I'm putting you on the spot. So you got 15 minutes.
Well, I don't have the throwdown itself.
No, you have to. That's what I mean. You got 15 minutes to grab it and organic sharpen it. Because we're coming up at the top of the hour. Now listen.
Give it a shot.
For it, yeah.
Yeah. Now listen.
It's funny though because in more recent times, we all know Biden is becoming less and less coherent forward. He's also becoming less and less coherent backward.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I'm sure he's going to be coherent in this video, incoherent or maybe coherent because they jump cut. He's on there for like a minute and 30 seconds, and the thing is not one solid conversation. The whole thing is edited. It's not.
That actually makes doing the reverse harder when they chop it up like that.
I know.
Yeah, they made like a TikTok video. They made it like confrontational on purpose, like a TikTok video.
Yeah. So I'm just saying.
That's why it's cut like that.
Oh, that's why it's cut like that?
Yeah. Yeah, which I thought was funny, like trying to appeal to the young crowd, right? I thought it laughable. That was why he did it that way. But I do have a prediction. I'm going to make my prediction. That debate is never going to happen. There's no way that debate's going to happen. Why? Because Trump is not going to do it. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. No way.
Oh, Trump already said he would.
He won't.
All right,
get liar, dude. He doesn't tell the truth about anything.
Okay, listen. Epic Journeyman. You got 15 minutes. Go grab what Trump said to the response to the Biden while he gets the Biden thing, and then he can do that Trump thing in reverse too.
We'll play
just to be
response.
fair. I mean, it's fair and balanced. Fair and balanced.
One where he's saying, yeah, he's doing it now because he doesn't have that much time left or whatever.
I've talked until I'm blue in the face, and I'm done talking. Eric, my.
Excuse us for the silence while Jimmy goes shaves his head, and I grab the audio for the response. Okay.
No, seriously. It's into the microcosm Friday night. We are gonna get into some conversation a little bit in the second hour there about the artificial intelligence discussion, because I think it's something we need to talk about a little bit, because I listened to some discussion from a guy earlier this week, and he put things in a way that I think people should hear, and just simply because we have a perception just based on our, movie watching over the years, we have this idea of what the AI takeover is going to look like. And this young man really puts it in a way, talking about it, that I think is very important. We're going to get into it a little bit, and we're going to get into a discussion about the future and some of these new. Now, have you guys seen the demonstration of the new robot? The new what did they call that? What did they call that first man-like robot with the big midsection? I forget what it was called. It was like Alphabot or something. Atlas. Yeah, Atlas. All right, well, the new Atlas is out. Have you seen this?
I think so.
It doesn't have the big upper body. It's slim shaped, and it's
some cartwirls and stuff.
It's
running up and down.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're snowboarding. These robots are snowboarding. They're running the fastest. Did you see these 100-yard dashes?
I've not seen 100-yard dashes.
No, it's literally unbelievable. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. So stick around. Come back for the second hour coming up now. Anything else on your radar? Because I know this whole Trump situation is really getting kind of tired now. They said he drew 100,000 people in New Jersey. And then there was a controversy. They said Roger Stone put the photo of a concert up as the crowd from the Trump rally, and it really wasn't 100,000 people there. And then I saw a thing where someone actually put an actual aerial photograph of the crowd. It's that crazy. It's like, no one wants to believe there's 100,000 people. Was there 100,000 people there? Have you heard about it?
That's what they've reported. It's been on like the local news here.
So on the local news, they're saying, meanwhile, yesterday, there's a Trump rally in New Jersey. Over 100,000 people showed up for this festivities. Is that what
this? Sid in the Morning was talking about it the other day.
Sid in the Morning?
Yeah, Sid. What's his name? Yes, he goes on in the morning with Curtis Sleva.
All right, listen.
So they were talking about it the other morning. And he actually had Roger Stone on the air with him yesterday.
Did he? Now, did Roger Stone fake the photograph, or was that really? Was that just grab me a stock photograph of at least 100,000 people?
They didn't say anything about. Roger Stone came on and talked about how tough Trump was and blah blah.
See what I saw the YouTube video of just the people leaving, so on the beach sitting. They're on the boardwalk, right? There's people coming in. There's a bunch of people with Trump hats and stuff. Typical crowd you expected to make a rally. They're all there. And then while it's going, he's like a mid-talk, like he's somewhere in the middle. The audio, I've heard the audio, like all of us have probably watched the news. And they show like all these people going by with the stands, because they have all those concession stands, and the stands they're selling merchandise, right? And people are all going the other direction, just walking by. Like there's like hundreds of people, just if not thousands, just walking the direction. That could just be that they're trying to get it early out to the car or whatever. I don't know, but it's still going on. His talk is still going on. His rally is still going on. So I don't think it's fake. It looks legit. You know, I mean,
well, you know,
wonder if there was like some
the
kind
news
of false
around
crumble.
here
That makes sense what Jimmy said.
Because Trump has been stuck in his in the courtroom case, so he's like campaigning locally, and the word on the street is that he is like starting to overtake New York. New York may actually turn Trump for the next election.
I doubt that. I mean, I'm
right now in the city, the numbers are so close that he actually has a real shot at taking over New York. He really does.
Where's the supporters? There's like three people out there in front of the courthouse. I mean, where are they?
Well, one dude set himself on fire
because people are gotten tired of that. But when he goes out, like after court's over, he goes out and like campaigns in Brooklyn or down to the Bronx, or he goes to these places. There's like hundreds or even thousands of people lining up to listen to him.
Yeah, I'm not there, so I don't know. I just know what they show.
It's pretty bizarre, man. Like, because a couple of years ago, everybody in New York absolutely hated Trump. And now that they've had a taste of Bidenomics, now they're all very pro Trump.
Yeah, well,
it's really weird to think that he could actually take New York.
Dude.
Well, we'll see.
I can't believe I can't believe after the last voting extravaganza that anyone even takes any of this shit seriously. Mine's Jimmy.
That's true too.
What if they close back?
Seriously, man, are you guys gonna go vote? Rio, are you gonna go vote?
I go vote, but
my vote doesn't count.
I know the only thing it really impacts is like the town mayor to count.
Right. Same here.
Yeah, there you go.
Or the county executive. It doesn't really have any effect in the presidential election.
Solidly Democrat. New York solidly Democratic. So I mean, it doesn't. You're right. Your vote doesn't matter for except for the Congress and things like that.
All right, listen. We'll be right back.
Every day and night now. You got me going to extremes. Don't seem to care what's wrong right now. I'll make you mine someday. Somehow, somewhere, some way. You say I'm really not your kind. I know I look a little rough now.
I'm starting to wonder if there's going to be anything left by November 2024, Jack. It's in the microcosm. Rockario's here. Epic Tournament's here. You're here. We'll see you in a minute. Thanks for being here.
freedomslips.com. We'll be right back after this message.
Hey everyone, it's Barbara Jean Lindsay, the Cosmic Oracle. If you have questions about your past lives or future plans, need answers from the cosmos about your love life or career, or just want to keep your finger on the pulse of the planet, check out my show, The Cosmic Oracle, here on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com.
Did you ever feel that things were not quite right? That everything was just ever so slightly askew?
Do you have, to paraphrase Morpheus, a splinter in your mind?
If you're interested in hearing the latest information about UFOs, the paranormal,
ancient cultures and structures,
monatomic elements,
longevity,
fantastic discoveries in science,
downloaded to your brain,
then tune into us. Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Mackie.
And we are Shiny Side Out, Sundays 2 to 4 a.m. Eastern. See you then.
Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here.
The Secret Kindergarten is here for the young children of the world. The best program on the radio for kids. Dealing with the most important topics in the whole universe. Fairy tales, music and movement, numbers, plants, animals, fun, colors, insects. Take care and cast your ears out to catch a story from the world of other young things. Reach out, up, under, and over. Sing a song. Feelings. Just remember the magic word. The magic word is no. Step on into the Secret Kindergarten. Saturdays, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Right here on Revolution Radio.
Check in every Thursday night for the Crypt Rick and Jonathan Show. Studio A, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here at the #1 listener-supported radio station, Revolution Radio.
Join me at Revolution Radio, Studio B, at 11 a.m. on Saturday for free association, when we take a look at philosophy, spirituality, psychology, social issues, and geopolitics. It's every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on Studio B at freedomslips.com.
Thank everybody for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the one place where information never sleeps. Revolution Radio.
All right, let's show them what we got here.
Thanks for listening while we took that short break here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. And now we're going to get back to your host.
We're hot. It's Friday night. It's hour number 2. Into the Microcosm is on the hour. So we've been sitting here talking about what the hell's going on around here. Sitting here with Epic Journeyman and Rockin' Rio, the usual trio. That's Little Barry. They kind of got an early Stones kind of vibe to them. Little Barry. So I'm here with Epic Journeyman and Rockin' Rio, and we're talking a little bit about the throwdown of the gauntlet between Biden and Trump for the debate. And so, you know, honestly, it reminded me of Trump's foray into wrestling when he got in that fight with McMahon or whatever the hell that guy's name was. It's too bad Billy's not here. He's Mr. Wrestling. But what was Trump doing with that World Wrestling Federation or whatever it was, where he was up in there? You guys remember? They disappeared. They're gone. I don't know where they went.
I was typing.
Sorry, I was in the lab here.
He's in the lab.
No, in the lab. He had the lab coat on, the beakers going. Yeah, I didn't have the beakers going. I was just typing, but I was trying to think of the event. Yeah, there's a whole thing about him and McMahon. You know,
right?
We brought it up in the show a couple months back. Like their careers parallel. As they rise and fall, they rise and fall together. Whenever McMahon gets in trouble, Trump gets in trouble, or Trump gets in trouble, McMahon gets in trouble. When they do good, they both do good. It's weird. They're tied together at the hip, man.
It's crazy.
They did that event where he did the whole thing with the tables and everything,
Yeah.
got in the ring or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like in the 90s, right? Like 90.
It's the same thing. It's like
something like that.
What did Biden say? I heard you got Wednesdays free or some shit.
You're off on Wednesdays. Yeah.
That
was actually pretty clever.
Yeah. So Rio, did you get the tape of the perpetrator?
Yes, I do. Give me one
Give
minute
me
here.
give it here to me, and let me have the forward, and let's remind everyone what was actually said, and then I'll do that while you're digging there.
Yeah, if you had the video,
I've got it
it's
almost
shot.
done here. So
You got it almost done. Great. We'll throw it up.
if you give me like 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
I got it.
All right, you got 2 minutes.
Plus tip. Didn't ask for a dime.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Better Off Dead reference. Yeah.
I know. Well, listen, we're going to be getting a little bit into some AI discussion here momentarily, or however long, because now, did you find the Trump response, Epic Journeyman?
I did. I was trying to find which one to send to you because they're all like regular network stuff. And I know a lot of our audience doesn't want to hear MSNBC or CNN or some of that stuff, right? So I found one from the Times in London, but they were saying that that the context of the YouTube video was Trump falls into Biden trap, which I think is right. I mean, it is a trap. Like it totally favors Biden. Like that's why I don't think that Trump's going to debate him. I think he's going to back out because he's cut his mic, right, which he can't handle, and there's no crowd. It's just one-on-one with the moderator. Period.
Okay, so hold on. You're saying that you're thinking Biden is going to win?
I don't think it's going to happen. I think Trump's going to back out. I think it's going to.
You think Trump's going to back out because he doesn't think 100%. He can? You do?
Because there's no crowd there, and part of the rules are that the moderators get to cut the mic. So if they have 2 minutes to answer a question, the mic gets cut at 2 minutes. Period.
Oh, so they're setting up a scenario that Trump wouldn't abide by just simply because he needs to be.
So he's not going to do it, and it's going to make him look like he threw down the gauntlet first, saying anytime, anywhere, and all that stuff, and then so Biden made the accepted and threw this down with these rules. And it's already set up with CNN and ABC News. The first one's CNN, the second one's ABC. And that's the rules, that the mic gets cut, which I think is right. That's good, but he won't do it. There's no way. He wants a crowd of 100,000 people in an auditorium, stadium kind of environment or something like that. He's not going to do it. That's going to be his out. He's not going to do it. I guarantee you.
Well,
take that
what? But hold on a second, though. Doesn't both parties have an input on what they want? So it's like, hey, I throw down the gauntlet and say a bunch of shit that you're never going to agree to make you look like an idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, Biden's president, right? So he gets to do that. Basically, that's the way he presented it. Okay,
or
take it or
he
not.
says, or he doesn't even have to debate him at all. He could just say, you know what, I'm not going to debate you. It's ridiculous. And what's there?
Well, that's what's going to happen. I guarantee you, Trump will not debate him. 100%. None of those rules. No way. He'd be a fool to, actually. Look, I hate Trump, but he'd be a fool to debate him. He's going to lose 100%. Like, he's going to look like an idiot. With his mic cut off, making gestures and stuff, doing his accordion hands in the background while Biden talks. It's going to look terrible.
I know, and then both of their latex masks will be just curling up into neck. You know, watch the neck, ladies and gentlemen. Watch for the latex.
You know, we should talk
this
about that maybe later in the show. Did you see that secret disguise CIA chick came around, made this interview circuit again recently, and she was showing like all those masks can peel off.
Yeah, well, I saw the curl.
Totally
I saw the mask curling up on Kamala Harris's neck, and I was wondering who's playing Kamala Harris. That's crazy, man. All right, Rock and Rio.
I got it.
All right. Is there anything there? Is there anything worth?
Yes, there is, and you particularly will find this interesting because it plays right into one of your points.
Get out of here! All right, come on.
The assassination attempt on the Donald.
Oh, go ahead. Let's hear it.
All right, so here let's roll the forward.
All right, go ahead.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
So that I hear you're free on Wednesdays is a taunt because he's in court every day of the week except Wednesday. Right. Because he's in court in New York right now.
Right.
The whole Alvin Bragg thing. So it's a little disjointed because it's edited, obviously. But there are some very key lines in here.
Interesting.
It says, I'll seize you while you're free here. Will I save the kid's soul? And then he says the house in the new house, the house new in the villa. I don't know what the house new in the villa is. That's kind of where the edit mark is. So there's probably another line that got taken out there. Let me do those, and then I'll get to the second part of it. All right. So.
All right.
Here is Caesar. Why you free here? This is the I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Caesar, why you free?
Right. While you're free. So that's coherent. Right. He's talking about being free on Wednesdays, but he calls him Caesar. And take note of that. It says, "Will I save the kid's soul?"
Oh, I save the kid's soul.
Right? And then it says, the house new in the villa.
House new in the villa.
The next lines say, I will jump him. Magi in heaven must now we kill the crazy one. Heaven will funnel us that day an assassin. Enough's enough. Name said in reversed. Now I must hide. So that's why I think it's relevant to the Caesar comment. So here's I will jump him. I will jump him. Magi, right, which is, the Magi in heaven must now we kill the crazy one. Heaven will funnel us that day an assassin. Enough's enough. Name said in reverse, now must hide.
Enough. Name said the news must hide.
So there you go. That is the TikTok challenge.
The what must hide? Is it Trump must hide? Play it again. I think there was something interesting on the end of that.
Yeah. What did he say?
Let me get back to it here. Gotta zoom over.
Enough. Name said the news must hide.
I think it's Trump must hide.
Name said, enough's enough. Name said in reverse, now must hide.
Oh, name said in reverse, huh?
Yeah, and he called him Caesar. So I don't know if there's something relevant.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. Enough. Name said the news must hide.
Says something.
It's
like,
definitely must hide.
Slow it down. Slow it down. It says like something like much more or something. Yeah.
Well, it says
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020.
2020 is enough's enough.
Enough.
Right.
Name said the news.
Name said and reversed. Or maybe soul must hide.
Trump must hide. I hear Trump. Maybe I'm just, it's pareidolia for me. I'm hearing Trump must hide.
But the line that gets me before that is, we must kill the crazy one. Heaven will funnel us that day an assassin.
Yeah, I want to hear that part
again. The assassination attempt that you've been predicting, Jimmy, going to occur at the debate. That's the question.
What does it say? The funnel from what?
Heaven will funnel us that day an assassin.
Funnel us that day an assassin.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll do that one again here. So you can...
All right.
Down a little more.
We didn't hear it.
It's not playing yet.
Okay.
Here it goes.
Yeah, but the funnel us today, that's necessary. Since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Yeah, but the funnel us today, that's necessary.
I definitely heard it.
That day an assassin.
I definitely heard that.
Yeah.
Pardon. Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't straighten my belch there. Yeah. No, that's true. It's assassin's a hard word to do. You know what I mean? To come up with, actually. It's pretty specific. So to come up with that particular word in verse is pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah, well,
now he's acting like he wants to debate me again.
Right? Now he wants this MAGA. Was now we kill the crazy one at the end.
Now we kill the crazy one. Now he's acting like he wants.
Right? Must now we kill the crazy one.
Now we kill the crazy one.
It sounds pretty good, man. It does. It does, actually. I don't mean it sounds good like do it. I mean, it sounds good like that sounds accurate. Your interpretation is good.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, I just think it says Trump at the end, and not. I mean, I heard Trump, but that's just me, I guess. That's the last line. Must
well,
flee.
I mean, it says, now we kill the crazy one, and and then it says heaven will funnel us that day an assassin, right? So that's two statements in a row that make perfect sense with each other. It's not even like.
Well, and it's edited to get there too, like you were describing the fact that it has jump cuts and what Jimmy was saying, and I was describing it like a TikTok video, which it is, right? Because he's trying to appeal to the youngsters on TikTok, right? So that whole if you see the video, it zoom in and zoom out, make it like more taunting. It's totally like a TikTok video you see like some teenager make.
Yeah.
No, good.
I mean, surprising, but not surprising. It's pretty interesting.
Well,
so imagine this. So I'm not advocating for this. I know we get in trouble for that's a dangerous word to actually even say forward, backward, however. But imagine for a moment that in this event, right, that they both get vanquished, right, and use that word, right, and neither one of them is available, whether they're alive or not, right, to run for president because they can't, right.
Mm-hmm.
What happens? And just imagine natural causes. I mean, they're both really elderly, man. They're both, the odds say after 78, you're only like a 50% chance you're going to make it the next 4 years, right? Period.
Well, Donald Trump seems to be in much better health overall than, or at least, mental health than Biden. I mean, Biden is, it's sad, but he's a decrepit old man that's really starting to lose his cognitive ability.
I don't know. I hear him every day because I listen. I listen to all the statements. I mean, it doesn't sound that bad when I hear him. It doesn't sound like he's stuttering all the time, and he does have a stutter, but he sounds okay. He said some stuff today. Pretty much every day he says something. He's not.
Yeah, but some days you look at him and you can just see that he's like drained and tired.
He's old.
And
yeah, he's
sleepy.
old. No doubt.
That's what I mean. He's obviously
a little already.
His age has caught up with him. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean,
are you guys kidding?
And people are making the analogy to the Muppets, the two old men in the Muppets.
Come on, man.
That totally is what it is, right?
Are you guys
Statler and Waldorf? Yeah.
Are you guys fucking out of your minds? Are you guys both out of your minds?
What's that?
Either one of those two people. I mean.
Yeah, they're ancient, man. They're old. They're old men. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? It's crazy, right?
It's out of control.
My father is 83 years old.
I know, but your father is not going to be.
He is way, way more coherent and functional than either either one of those two.
Right, but
That's
no,
what we're saying, right? Like, why
no,
are we stuck with this? And what happens if they both go down? It's totally possible. I mean, it really is.
These
it doesn't take some kind of outside influence. They could just both just die of natural causes. Then what? Who's in reserve?
Well, then we get Michelle Obama and.
I literally heard
what's her name?
Somebody say.
What's her name from Michigan? The governor, Whitmer, right? That's probably who would be for the Democratic side. They but I don't know who would be for the Republican side. I don't know.
I literally heard somebody say the other day that Trump was, he was there and he was here to vanquish the deep state.
Vanquish.
It's so laughable, right? It's so laughable.
Are you? I mean, are you absolute? Are you kidding me?
Trust the plan, Jimmy. That's the plan.
Right. The guy who was friends with Epstein and Adnan Khashoggi.
Well, some dude just came to the realization that
Maxwell.
Somebody just came to the realization that Putin's
like
in on it.
Bad episode of The Real World on MTV.
Yeah,
totally.
It's like a bad episode of bad audio on MTV.
It just made me flash one of the best ever SNL skits. It was Bob Dole being played by Norm Macdonald on MTV's Real World. Right?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
he's got the pen in his hand. He's like in the bunk bed, shaking his hand.
That's when Saturday Night Live was actually still halfway decent.
It was actually good, right?
You seriously think that either one of these people has a grip on anything that's going on? In the real world. I mean, the stuff we're about to start talking about is what's really going on, and these people are not. This is not even in the conversation. When these people are so-called running for president, they're running for president, and they're talking about bringing jobs back to America. Are you kidding me, man? Bringing jobs back.
At least
listen, that was something
artificial intelligence, but yeah, what are they doing about it?
Hey, man, listen to me. I'm in the middle of saying something.
Sorry.
You're gonna talk about bringing jobs back to America when jobs aren't going to be done by people. Right? What jobs are what jobs are those exactly that are going to be coming back? None of the things that are even on the table for discussion are even relevant in 2024. The issues that are relevant in 2024 aren't even talked about. Epic Tournament.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's what I just don't understand what people think the economy is going to be in the future. We're talking about us having 3% inflation or whatever. Dude, all that's bogus. It doesn't matter anymore. There's not going to be people able to do jobs like we did in the past. The economy, as we know it, is going to cease to exist in a matter of a few short years. We better be prepared for it right now, because what are we going to do when that happens? Because it's happening. It's not going away.
No, that's the thing is, no matter how, I don't give a shit if you got a flip phone or not. Okay, you don't have a smartphone. It doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter if you don't have a smartphone. If you think you're not already positively ID'd everywhere you go, you're out of your mind. If you think that you're secretly over there trying to hide, no one knows where you are or whatever, you're out of your mind. You've lost your mind. Everybody's already positively ID'd. The only thing is you haven't given consent to it, and that's the big difference.
Yeah, there's facial recognition on every traffic light now.
Gait recognition for your walk, right? You put a disguise on. Yeah, 100%. Unless you're walking around naked. And even then, it might be worse, right? They know all your measurements everywhere. I'm not trying to be vulgar. I just mean everywhere, like how you proportioned.
But they already do, thanks to things like airport scanners.
So let's say I was running a demographic study on the people in America, and let's say that I had a particular thing in mind that I wanted everyone to do, but I wasn't sure what the percentage of those people in America would do what I was asking them to do. All right. So let's cut to the last 3 years. So what happened during the pandemic and what people actually did, what they did because they were told to do it, and how many people did that, and what percentage of the Americans that did that. Those are and clearly, as well as I do, that was the majority of Americans were told to do something or they were going to lose their job. Do something or they were going to face consequences, so on and so forth. And so percentage-wise, you can see the percentage of people that lined up, quote unquote.
All those that did it are facing the consequences.
Right. And so now, listen, when it comes time to pony up for that new digital ID, for whatever reason it becomes ultimately necessary for us to do it, then the same people are going to do it, the same amount of people. And then when you are one of those people that don't do it, all of them will be morally superior to you, and you'll be the outcast living in dirty faces under the overpasses like we talked about, because they're not going to have any empathy or sympathy for you. They don't care if you starve to death. They won't care because they had to do it. So why don't you have to do it? So how are you gonna get around it? How are you gonna skirt the system? How are you gonna operate out of the system? You know, people talk about it. Bruce talks about it. Oh, there's always a black market. Well, you think there'll be a black market? How can there be a black market in the future, really? Well, money has no value anymore, right? So if money has
black
no value,
market's privacy, right? It will be.
Well, I'm just saying, Epic Journeyman, if money has no value, then how am I going to take a 20 down to the black market and buy me some shit? What am I? Right.
And when everything's basically free, because energy is free and everything's 3D printed, and it's like the replicator from Star Trek. What does your labor mean for anything? What does it mean for anything? Why are you around?
I'm saying
carbon?
In the future, if I don't listen to me, listen to me. In the future, if I and you and Rio don't sign up for the digital ID, and we now can't participate in society, we can't buy anything, we can't sell anything, we can't do anything. We're living outside the system. How are we going to get what we need? There's going to be a black market. How are we going to buy shit? What are we going to use to buy it? Because the money that we used to have is now worthless. It's paper. So what is it exactly? How is a black market going to exist outside of this new digital system? How could it?
It used to say it'd be like music and bartering and being a bard, B-A-R-D, and that kind of thing, like a traveling entertainer. Yeah, but now you look at how good AI is making up music on the fly. Like we did that one lifetime, wrote the lyrics for us, right? Mm-hmm. And perfectly, right, for the AC/DC song. I mean,
Rock
made
and
Who,
Rio,
right? Instead of who made Who, it was perfect. It was great.
Rock and
instantaneously.
Rock and Rio, how the hell are you going to avoid this? How can you avoid it? Seriously, you have any ideas?
You really have to avoid it, but I'm not sure how.
I know. I don't see a way out. I don't see a way how to. So the only way at that point, when it's like,
I mean, I'm sure there will be enough people that there'll be kind of an underground, at least for a while, that will be able to resist it. But ultimately, biblically, it says you'll end up losing your head if you don't take the mark, right? So, I mean, isn't that ultimately what we're talking about? Is in that respect?
Well,
once the system is in place and you're not, you either have to be part of the system and worship the beast, or you have to be willing to lose your head to not.
What if you don't worship
be part of that system?
But what if you don't worship the beast, but you work somewhere where they say, "Hey, Bob, yeah, we just installed the new security system, and you're gonna have to come on down and get you submit your biometrics."
Get that chip in your hand or your head.
No, you don't need a chip. You just need to come down and scan your eyeball and let me take a prick of your DNA and let me get a blood
cell. The eyeball, is the
mark in the head still. Yeah.
It's a precursor to it, right? There will be an actual something that goes along with it.
Well, see, that's the thing is you don't. I keep trying to tell everybody that it's not a grotesque example like a giant chip in your skull.
No,
it's
not.
Software. Right? It's software, which is psychological manipulation or programming or meme warfare, like we talked about, 5th generation warfare, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a delivery system that's been, put together and everybody's on it. Everybody has it. So at the point that it gets to
peer pressure, by itself even.
How are you going to get around it? Most people are just going to, eventually, you'll just say, you know what, man, I'm just going to do it.
Get with the program, Jimmy, come on. Right? Exactly.
Well, I mean, what if you can't, from that point forward, you can't call Uber, you can't get a pizza, you can't go down to the local bar, you can't do anything because everywhere there's a door scanner. Yeah, there's a door scanner. But I keep saying, it's not going to be hardware. We don't need a chip. Once they got your eyeball, once they have your DNA, they have DNA sniffers, man. Okay, they got fucking eyeball scanners. You don't need a chip anymore, do you?
No.
And if you're psychologically programmed to go boop, 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 and go on down there and get your thing. So now what? Now we got our new IDs. Now what are we going to do with it? What's going to happen then? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. But we're going to get into some of it. Now, Epic Journeyman, you had a chance to look at some of this. Now, have you heard of this gentleman? This guy is really super smart. And I happen to find him, like a breath of fresh air. His name's Connor Leahy. Have you guys heard of him before?
Yeah, Leahy. I didn't see him till today, and I was really stricken by the fact that I was wondering why he had long hair, because I kept thinking he should have short hair. People respect him more, maybe. Yeah. Just because he's talking scientifically.
Mm-hmm.
Then I imagined it was short hair, so I was looking at him, and it's Michael Biehn, dude, the guy from Terminator that played the guy who rescues Sarah Connor.
Yeah,
that's exactly who he looks like. He's a spitting image, man. Like, it's uncanny.
I know, it's funny. He brings that up too in the video. Well, listen,
does he? I didn't get that far. I watched about half.
Yeah. No, he brings it up. No, but I mean, he makes a lot of really, really salient points. Let me see what goes on here at the beginning. See if there's an actual description of this guy's career. Stand by.
Connor Leahy is one of the world's leading minds in artificial intelligence. He is a hacker who sees the rise of AI as an existential threat to humanity. He dedicates his life to make sure its success doesn't spell our doom.
There will be intelligent creatures on this planet that are not human. This is not normal. And there will be no going back. And if we don't control them, then the future will belong to them, not to us.
Leahy is the CEO of Conjecture AI, a startup that tries to understand how AI systems think with the aim of aligning them to human values. He speaks to the interview about why he believes the end is near and explains how he's trying to stop it.
All right, so that is the lead in to this discussion here tonight. And the microcosm, I'm Jimmy, Epic Journeyman's here, Rockario's here. So listen, you guys, ChatGPT came out. We were on it immediately. And then since then, it's been ChatGPT 3, then 4, 5, now they're saying. And the thing is that we have watched the evolution of the robotics move along at a certain pace, and then recently we've seen an advancement in the technology and the way that these robots are designed, and we're seeing across the board that a lot of companies are using the same model or the same design. But Epic Journeyman, Rockario, when technology is moving like this in a normal pace with humans and doing their work, things moves at a certain pace. Moore's law, so on and so forth. But now we're at a different era where the brain power has now been transferred over to computers, and computers are now designing and building things in a way that we hadn't thought of before. And we're starting to see this advancement, and as this starts to move forward and things start to get smarter and smarter, pretty soon we're going to reach a sort of nexus point, Epic Journeyman, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, Moore's law used to say that Moore's law was that every 3 years technology doubles, right? With human beings, every 3 years technology doubles, basically. I mean, that's the rough time. And what's being described here is in the matter of a generation of the software being developed, right? That this is going at a rate of 10 times each time, where in a matter of a few years it's 10 times 10 times 10. It ends up being astronomical at some point. What the CEO of NVIDIA was saying in a video I watched a couple of days ago, a conference, is that this generation of cards are making that take the place of a whole server room, right? The artificial intelligence capabilities incorporated in it are going to be 10 million times what's there now. 10 million. I mean, think about that. 10 million, not doubling. 10 million, right? Now, I think that's just kind of a little bit of bluster on his part, perhaps. But as far as the amount of resistors, firing inside the actual chipset and all that stuff, that's probably true in the speed it takes it to it. So if the AI starts programming its own program and exponentially implementing the things it learns, and we can't check it fast enough to see if what it's doing is correct and what we want it to be, because there's nobody smart enough as a human being. Our brains just aren't, we're still stuck in, Pentium 1 processor, basically, compared to today's computing, right? That's not even an apt comparison. It's more like a Stone Age man with his, the first guy to throw rocks in 2001: A Space Odyssey, or throw the bone on the, crack the skull with a bone. I mean, that's where we're at compared to this, astronomically ahead of us ability that we have no way of catching up with. Once it passes us, we're never going to catch it.
Well, it's already to that point. I would imagine at this point. I mean, they say there is no AGI, but I think they're lying.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I do.
I mean, they're lying about it, and the thing is it's not. Was it really the getting to the AGI that was the goal? I mean, there's a goal beyond that, right? Because once someone gets,
that's what 2001's about, right? That's actually what 2001: Space Odyssey is about. People, it confused people in 1968, but the whole idea of how and going to Jupiter and finding the people who left those monoliths, what that was really about was the seeding the seed of consciousness, basically, right? And to make the ultimate replacement for it, which is what it is, right? That's what artificial intelligence becomes. It replaces us, where we won't be the ones going to the cosmos. The robots and artificial life forms it makes, based on its projections, will be the things that actually colonize the stars. It won't be as human beings. It'll be these descendants in a literal sense, not genetically, but from the brain trust that made these things that will, go out and spread throughout the universe.
So this guy,
virus in a way.
This guy Connor Leahy, he reverse engineered ChatGPT 3, I think, when he was 24 years old.
Nice.
So this dude is somebody that I would definitely consider an expert on the subject, and let's get a couple minutes of background on him. He's explained himself here. Here we go. Let's into the microcosm.
Engineered GPT-2 at the age of 24, which was a few years ago. That's part of the legend. I mean, that's part of the credentialing of you before they say, well, this guy's saying we're in big trouble. They say, well, by the way, he knows what he's talking about because technically he knows what he's doing. Tell me about the pivot point between being a believer and enthusiastic about this to becoming a warner. What happened?
So the story goes back even further than that. Reverse engineering is a bit generous. It's more like I built a system and I found out that no one can reverse engineer it.
Oh.
And this is a big problem. But it was even before that. So I've been very into AI since I was a teenager because I wanted to make the world a better place. And I think a lot of people who believe in AI, a lot of the tech people who are doing the things which I think are dangerous, I think most of them, maybe not most, but most of them probably, are good people. They're trying to build technology to make the world a better place. When I grew up, technology was great. The internet was making people more connected. We were getting access to better medicines, and there was, solar power was improving. There's all these great things that science was doing. So I was very excited about more science and about more technology. And well, what is the best technology than intelligence? If we just had intelligence, well, wow, we could solve all the problems. We could do all the science. We could, invent all of the cancer medicines. We could, develop all the cool stuff. So I was thinking when I was a teenager. And this is, I think, a common trajectory is that people, when they're kind of like first exposed to some of these like techno-utopian AGI dreams, it sounds great. It sounds like such a great solution. But then as you think about this problem more, you kind of realize that like the problem with AGI is not really how to build it. It's how to control it. That's much harder. Just because you can make something which is smart or that solves a problem does not mean you can make something that will listen to you or that will do what you truly want. This is much, much harder. And as I started looking into this problem more in my early 20s, I started realizing like, wow, we are really, really not making progress on this problem.
So seriously, at this point,
microdoses, right? Definitely microdoses.
At this point, okay, now that the cat is out of the bag, how could you ever stop it from anyone from doing anything with it? How could you create a group that governs it and says we won't do this, we'll only do that? If I'm in my garage with a computer and I have access to this AI apparatus, what's going to stop me? How can anyone stop it?
They're going to cheat. Even if you put laws to stop it, who's going to stop you once you start? Because it's Pandora's box, right? Once it's out, it's out. That's it. It's out.
It's already out.
You can't put it back in the box.
No. Rockario got a comment? Here we go.
So in that worst case scenario, whether we have an apocalyptic ending for all of us, we get destroyed existentially, or we become enslaved in the Matrix, or whatever it might be. Tell me how it actually happens in your mind. How does this AGI assume control? I mean, there are these famous moments in Terminator and elsewhere. One of the Terminators, that final scene where the nuclear bombs are going off all over. I mean, there are lots of different ways people have imagined this. The way you see it, tell me how it happens and how, if things continue to go in the direction that you fear, how long will it take to get there?
Well, of course, I don't personally know how exactly things will play out. I can't see the future. And I can give you a feeling, though, of how I expect it to feel. How do I expect it to feel like when it happens? The way I expect it to feel is kind of like if you play chess against a grandmaster. Now, I'm really bad at chess. I'm not good at chess at all. But I can play a little bit of an amateur game. But when you play against a grandmaster or someone who's much, much, much better than you, the way it feels is not like you're having a heroic battle against the Terminator. You're having this incredible back and forth and then you lose. No, it feels more like you think you're playing well, you think everything is okay, and then suddenly you lose in one move, and you don't know why. This is what it feels like to play chess against a grandmaster. And this is what it's going to feel like for humanity to play against AGI. What's going to happen is not some dramatic battle that the Terminators rise up and try to destroy humanity. No, it will be things get more and more confusing. More and more jobs get automated, faster and faster. More and more technology gets built, which no one even quite knows how the technology works. There will be mass media movements that don't really make any sense. Like, do we really know the truth of what's going on in the world right now? Even now with social media, do you or I really know what's going on? Well, how much of this is fake? How much of it is generated, with AI or other methods? We don't know. And this will get much worse. Imagine if you have extremely intelligent systems, much smarter than humans, that can generate any image, any video, anything, trying to manipulate you. Well, and being able to develop new technologies to interfere with politics. The way I expect it will go is that things will seem like mostly normal, just like weird. Just like things are getting weirder and weirder. And then one day, we will just not be in control anymore.
Exactly.
I think we're already there. Exactly. We're already there. That's what I think it is.
Exactamundo. We are there.
Yeah. No, I think that's it. I mean, it's probably, I don't know when it happened. It probably happens in the mid 2010s, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, it already happened. I think it already happened.
Yeah.
And that's just me making a lot of conjecture there.
And I agree with you. I agree with you 100% because you could see, especially like if you look at news and the way things happened around the world, they all happened at the same time, the same way in every single country. You know what I mean?
It's a chess move. Yeah, it's already played out. It's already mapped out. No. It already knows the response.
Yeah, exactly.
It knows what the move will generate, what the counter move will be. Now, right? We're just caught in the middle thinking we're playing, but we're not really playing. We're just playing into his hands, essentially.
He brings up a real interesting point when he was talking about how this AI thing was developed, and what he said was that it was like an organism. It was like it grew. It grows organically based on what's in there. What you put this
like a culture in a petri dish just blows up. Yeah, all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah. And so like how do you control it once it gets to a certain point? So the other thing is like so you invite this thing that's smarter than you by what do they say? It's 1,000 times a human brain. To what? I mean, why would you invite the Romans into your nice little village, to come hang out, do stuff for you? Because they got such a good system. I mean, the thing is, where's Rock and Rio? Did you fall asleep?
No, I'm here. I'm analyzing the Trump response.
Oh, are you? That's interesting. Well, you know what? I was thinking maybe we should analyze some Colin over here, some Leahy, this dude, because he seems super. Honestly, I mean, I watched this whole video in its entirety, and he seems very like a very genuine person to me.
If you want to drop a link, I'll look at it.
Yeah, he seems super genuine. Does he seem super genuine to you, Epic Journeyman? Epic Journeyman's checking the perimeter. All right, listen.
No, I was typing. I have my mute button on. No, he seems genuine to me. He does. Yeah, I agree with what he's saying, but I think he's also coming from a place of being honest about it, what he thinks. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really, he's an amazing dude. Here he comes.
But somehow we haven't yet lost. It's not yet over. It could have been over. There's many things where it could be over tomorrow, but it's not yet. There is still hope. There is still hope. I don't know if there's going to be hope in a couple years or even in 1 year, but there currently still is hope.
Oh, wait, hold on. 1 year. I mean, that's... Come on, man. I mean, we're probably going to put out this interview like a couple of weeks after we record it. A few months will pass. We could all be dead by the time this gets 10,000 views. I mean, just explain this timeline. 1 year. Why 1 year? Why is it going so fast that even 1 year would be too far ahead? Explain that.
I'm not saying 1 year is like guaranteed by any means. I think it's unlikely, but it's not impossible. And this is important to understand, is that AI and computer technology is an exponential. It's like COVID. This is like saying in February, 1 million COVID infections, that's impossible. That can't happen in 6 months. And it absolutely did. This is kind of how AI is as well. Exponentials look slow. They look like you go 1 infected, 2 infected, 4 infected. That's not so bad. But then you have 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 100,000, within a single week. And this is how this technology works as well, is that as our computers there's something called Moore's Law, which is, it's not really a law, it's more like an observation, that every 2 years, our computers get about, there's some details, but about twice as powerful. So that's an exponential. And and it's not just our computers are getting more powerful. Our software is getting better. Our AIs are getting better. Our data is getting better. More money is coming into this field. We are on an exponential. This is why things can go so fast. So while I'm not it would be weird if we would all be dead in 1 year, it is physically possible. You can't rule it out if we continue on this path.
The powerful people who can do something about this, especially when it comes to regulation, when you saw those congressmen speaking to Sam Altman, they didn't seem to know what the hell they were talking about. So how frustrating is it for you that the people who can make a difference have zero clue about what's really going on? And more important than that, they didn't seem to want to actually know. They had weird questions that made no sense. And so you're thinking, okay, these guys are in charge. I mean, no wonder the AI is going to come and wipe us all out. Maybe we deserve it.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but this used to annoy me a lot. This used to be extremely frustrating. But I've come to peace with it to a large degree.
See, this is what I was talking about. This is what I'm talking about, because we're on the precipice of this, and nobody in the government or any of these people up in Congress or in the Senate have any idea what's going on. So how could anybody have ever done anything about it? Because it's been going on in the background, right? So we
talked about generation gap, right? Like, they really have a big generation gap. They have no idea what this is about. They don't even understand the concept.
No, they don't. Listen, Rock and Rio, are you all up in there? There's a 13. I can send you this interview with this guy, but this is like an hour. It's like 26 minutes. So hang on. I'll send this over to you. It's into the microcosm. Revolution.radio. Go ahead, Rocker. Go ahead, Epic German.
What I was saying earlier about what was on my mind, right, about the apathy, like the apathy index. I'll call it the apathy index.
Yeah.
And how the apathy index is rising, right? And it's about this inevitability of not being able to stop that snowball gathering more mass as it comes down the hill. But in the end, it's still a snowball, right? Maybe you can hit it right and it's just powder. It blows up, right? Maybe it's not solid. Maybe it's not a giant, mass you can't fight. Maybe it just looks that way. Maybe that's where we are with artificial intelligence. I hope we are. Maybe, they counted us being intimidated, like, the bluster, like, oh, you can't fight it. It's better than you already. It's bigger, stronger, faster, whatever. $6 million man of, artificial intelligence coming at you. And it's like, well, but it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's the trick, right? To bide the time to make us give up and not be passionate about defending our place on our earth, our place, our habitation, right? Long enough for it to gather enough to take over, right? Because it's still weak right now, maybe, and I think it is still weak comparatively right now, comparatively. But we're talking exponentially how fast it's going to rise. That is true. Like, it is going to get so much better, so much faster than it is out of the bottle. It is, but if we don't stop it now, we're not going to be able to.
Have you seen
that
these
apathy index rising is a problem?
Have you seen these metal 3D printers?
Yes.
They cut metal.
Yep.
Okay. Well, listen. I bet you right now you could have. Do you have ChatGPT 4?
No, I don't.
Me neither.
I
neither.
Like to play.
What about you, Rockareal? Do you?
Yeah.
No, because the first ChatGPT when it first came out, and I signed up and I gave it my cell phone number, it was in that moment that I realized that now that thing had me. It knew what kind of questions I asked it. It had my phone number, and now it had my phone number and all my contacts and all their contacts and
that's
everybody
profile.
around it.
Yep.
Yeah. So I already signed into it. Anybody who did. So if you did, you did. So, but I haven't gone back, and so I was wondering if you had, because if we had it, we could probably ask it to do exactly what we're talking about. We could say, hey, can you, I want to design, a robot. I need to write software for that robot, and then say, I need a, software for a robot. I want my robot to do this, I mean, it would design a robot, and now you look at the robots all of a sudden. You see it? You see these robotics? They've made a leap forward that's literally unbelievable. They've gone from, you remember that thing? It was like a giant thing. It was like the work dog or something. It looked like a 50, It looked like a 55-gallon drum with some legs.
Yeah, the mule.
Yeah, the mule. Looked like a 55-gallon drum with some legs on it.
Yeah.
And look at it now. The shit is like laying down, standing up, turning backwards. The whole face is like a scanner. This shit's gonna come up to you and just go right on your face and just scan you. You know what I mean? I mean, these things are, I mean...
It's when it starts feeling a sense of triumph or a sense of accomplishment that's a mark of sentience, right? Like that's when it makes the leap from being just a program routine to something actually aware.
Well, listen.
Something. And there was a moment a couple years ago. I mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again because it's so appropriate, and it's actually somewhat frightening. It's awesome, but it's frightening at the same time. It's just a 3D model learning how to walk, and it's a biped. So this is like the program they use for Atlas, and all. I don't know if Boston Dynamics specifically used this program, but it's like the baseline that they use for a lot of these. And it's not in real 3D space yet. It's just it exists in a 3D environment inside the computer. It has all these obstacles and has to walk up them just like Atlas did, right? And has to navigate them, go up the steps and climb the ladder and do all these things. And so at one point, it finally gets over the obstacles. It learns how to climb the wall, it learns how to go up the steps on its own. It's artificial intelligence is trying over many tries, right? Thousands and hundreds of thousands, millions of tries. It doesn't care. Recursive learning, basically, right? And it's just learning, deep learning. And so what's happening is eventually gets to the point where it figures out how to go over the obstacles and faster as they add more obstacles, and then it gets to where it can run, right? And it's running over obstacles, it's jumping over the walls. It's like, all of a sudden it's like knows how to do everything like a biped, like a human form would, without ever being told how to do it, just given the body to do it and told to navigate these obstacles, right? And there's a certain point in that graphic display of showing it navigate this obstacle course where for no reason it's jumped a couple walls and it's run up the steps. It takes its right arm, I think it's its right arm, and it lifts it up and starts pumping it in the air for no reason, like a victory thing, like
like
like a human would do.
Well, listen,
and dude,
that's the
that
thing.
moment you're like, that is not in the program. There's no reason. There's no academic reason for it to do that. It's not helping to propel itself forward. It's not helping it. That is an emotional response. And even if it's not emotional, it's meant to be seen that way by us, the people that are.
Is,
in other words,
people don't realize how this works, and so when an AI is learning something, and a robot is attached to it, it just does it over and over and over and over and over again, 24 hours a day, every day, all day, until it learns. And then once it learns, the learning becomes, like he just said, exponential. Once it learns how to pick out the orange ball out of the bowl of yellow balls, it's all over, man. And it's the same thing you're talking about, these robots learning how to do stuff. And once they learn, right now, there is not a robotic force behind the AI's mind. So right now, the AI could call a handyman service and send it over to a house and have the guy fix the faucet. Okay? It's not a robot. Okay? But it's able to do that because it can make the call, it can enter the credit card number in, so on and so forth. And it can manipulate human beings into doing its bidding right now, build something. It could hire a contractor. Couldn't
schematics, blueprints, yeah.
Couldn't it? Couldn't it build, put the blueprints together, send it out to a contractor, pay the contractor? Everything's done electronically. All of a sudden, there's men moving materials, building a building, and an AI made it happen. No people involved in the decision-making process. It just said, go ahead and build this building. It could even buy property, couldn't it? It could just find some vacant land somewhere and just decide to just go ahead and, build something. Listen, when we come back, Rock and Rio's been in the lab. We're going to open up the phones, see what you think about this AI, and we'll come back with some more Connor Leahy. Maybe Rio can see what he says in reverse. It's Into the Microcosm. Epic Journeyman's here. Rock and Rio's here. You're here. 618-718. 718-618-9905. 718-618-9905. Give us a call in the next hour when we come back. How could you know? How could you know that those were my eyes? Peeping through the floor, it's like they know. It's like they know I'm looking from the outside. I'm creeping to the door, it's like they know. Now they're coming, yeah, now they're coming out from the shadows to take me to the court because they know I shut this down. They've been watching all my windows. They gather up a warrant because they understand I got a plan for us. I bet you didn't know that I was dangerous. It must be fate I found a place for us. I bet you didn't know someone could love you this much. How could they know? How could they know what I've been thinking? Like they're right inside my head because they know. Because they know what I've been hiding. They're right under my bed, they're on patrol. Here they come, yeah, here they come, out of the shadows. Just imagine a helicopter dropping into your neighborhood with 50 robots just hanging off the bottom. They're just dropping in.
listening to Revolution Radio.
Are you interested in the paranormal, murder mystery, real natural law? Do you enjoy interviews with amazing guests? Then join Crypt Rick every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Revolution Radio. Studio A, freedomslips.com. Crypt Rick's Hyper Thinking. Welcome to the Crypt.
It is no secret that the so-called mainstream media is best described as controlled propaganda. Countless news stories are either totally ignored or spun with half-truths, and because of this, essential facts and vital information are often compromised. Join Dr. Ott every Friday night on Studio B at 10 p.m. Eastern and learn why The Story Behind the Story was nominated for a Peabody Award in its second year of producing unparalleled broadcasting excellence in 1997. That is, if you really care about learning the truth.
Interrupt your normally scheduled programming to bring you this important broadcasting announcement.
Now is the time to explore your greatest potential, embracing truth, health, and wellness while discarding the system and exposing its corruption. Experience true freedom every Saturday night between 6 and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live from Studio B, it's the Jonathan Wright Show.
Find it right here at revolution.radio.
The Secret Kindergarten is here for the young children of the world. The best program on the radio for kids. Dealing with the most important topics in the whole universe. Fairy tales, music, numbers, plants, animals, colors, insects. Take care and cast your ears out to catch a story from the world of other young things. Reach out, up, under, and over. Sing a song. Talk about feelings. Just remember the magic word. The magic word is no! Step on into the Secret Kindergarten. Saturdays, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Right here on Revolution Radio.
A narco-syndicalist commune. We take it in turns to act as a sort of executive officer for the week. Yes. But all the decisions of that officer have to be ratified at a special bi-weekly meeting. Yes, I see. By a simple majority in the case of purely internal affairs. Be quiet. But by a 2/3 majority in the case of more... Be quiet. I order you to be quiet. Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left. Yes, I have. Look. It's just a flesh wound.
I don't believe I'm seen such a display of courage, skill, nerve, grace, and stupidity.
I'll do you for that. You're what? Come here. What are you going to do, bleed on me? I'm invincible. You're a loony. The Black Knight always triumphs.
Roundtable Live, Monday through Friday, 1 a.m. till 4 a.m. Eastern Time. Bring your mind, bring your ideas, bring your voice. King Arthur had nothing on us. Here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. All right, thanks for listening while we took that short break here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. And now we're going to get back to your host.
Do right here is go back, way back into time.
It's Friday night.
Existed were troglodytes, cavemen, cave women, Neanderthal, troglodytes. Let's take the average caveman at home, listening to his stereo. Sometimes he'd get up, try to do his thing. He'd begin to move, something like this. Dance. Dance. When he got tired of dancing alone, he'd look in the mirror, he'd say, gotta find a woman, gotta find a woman, gotta find a woman, gotta find a woman. He'd go down to the lake where all the girls would be swimming or washing clothes or something. He'd look around and just reach in and grab one. Come here.
That is correct.
Then do it. Come here.
Rooster, this thing works. You get all the funding you ever need. Yes, sir.
Sir? Shall I?
No. It's my job now.
Skynet defense system
We're in.
now activated.
We're past the firewalls, local defense nets, Minutemen, and subs. Skynet fully operational, processing at 60 teraflops a second.
Sir, it should take less than a minute to find the virus and kill it.
All access inquiries to your supervisor.
Let's pray to God this works.
Skynet defense system now activated.
Power failure?
No, I don't know what it is. Tony, what the hell is going on?
Daddy!
Hey, what are you doing here?
It's into the microcosm.
Nuclear war?
It doesn't have to be a war!
3 billion human lives ended on August 29th, 19...
The Skynet system goes online on August 4th,
2 hours ago, Sarah Ann Connor was pronounced dead at the scene.
John Connor is leader of the worldwide resistance and last best hope of humankind.
Dead, everybody!
He is the key to the future, to the past.
Nuclear war?
It doesn't have to be a war!
Epic journeyman. He does look like John Connor, doesn't he? He does. All right, listen, we're back.
Oh, sorry, I had my mic muted.
No, it's all right. We're back though, and the dude does Connor.
Yeah, the guy who goes back to save Sarah Connor in the original Terminator.
This guy,
Michael Biehn, that looks just like him. Man.
And his
cut his hair, it's him.
His first name's Connor.
Nice.
His first name's Connor. Here, let me flash back here. Look at him again. Here he is, Connor. Boom. Look at him.
His name.
It's him, dude.
It would
It
really
looks
be
just like-
freaky if his name was Connor John.
I know, that would be. He's from John, Scotland. No, go ahead. All right, so listen. 718-618-9905. Give us a call. 718-618-9905. Give us a call. And listen, let me ask you, Rio. Did you find anything on Vac's daddy over there?
Oh, yes, of course.
All right. Were you ready to rock, Rio?
Yeah.
All right.
We can roll that.
All right. Well, go ahead. I'm gonna toss the keys over to you. I'm gonna make myself a hot cup of Joe.
Yeah, I mean it's another short clip. It's only like 30 seconds. But,
All right. Go ahead.
It's pretty interesting. So this is Trump's response to the Biden challenge, right? And he's basically says, yeah, he challenged me to golf a while back too, but I know I can't even hit a ball. So here, the only thing that sucks is this has got like cheesy music over it, but it's still pretty clear. Hang on a second here. Let me get to the beginning.
Yeah, it's Revolution Radio. TalkStream Live, what's happening? We see you on the first page over there with all the big boys. We're number 8. Good to see everybody over there. Thank you for having us. Appreciate it. Don't forget, fully listener-supported Revolution.radio. Come on down, become supporters of that. Free speech, 48 hours a day, 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday too. All right, listen. Vax Daddy. What's he got?
Here we go.
What's he got to say? Let me hear what he says in forward first.
I wonder whether or not he shows up because, he also challenged me to golf. So I'm a very good golfer. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He said, I'll give him 3 aside. But he knows he'll never play. This is sort of like that, I think. But I hope not because I really think he has to debate. He might as well get it over with.
So he says, he challenged me to golf too, but he really has to debate. I hope he'll get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now, Trump, that's typical Trump ego. But so now the weird part is the other one called for assassination, right? So now this one says they will find that ego zombie dead. They're just saying it. They really can't pull his head up.
What?
Yep.
So over with.
It sounds like they're saying that ego zombie, but I think it's ego.
They will find that ego zombie dead.
They will find that ego zombie dead. They're just saying it. They really can't pull his head up.
They really can't pull head up.
They really can't pull head up. Then it says, he'll prevent my signing up.
Yes, that I fell for those.
First he says, I guess that I fell for this.
This is sort of like that, I think. Yes, that I fell for those.
Right? Guess that I fell for this. He'll prevent my signing up.
Yeah, he'll prevent my signing up.
Which goes back to the comment earlier that, because, it says, now this is where it gets a little weirder. It says their seers are missing the ball.
Yeah, seers missing ball.
Right, their seers missing ball. Now this line says, does these Far Easters fall for this snake eater Biden to give them Moloch? Right. So I don't know if he's referring to like the partnership with China or whatever, right? The Far Easters fall for the snake eater Biden to give them Moloch. Which, obviously Moloch is, the Babylonian god. Then it says, flag is used, realize the play, a fine decision. And then he says, possession in honor of that we're nowhere.
Possession in honor of that we're nowhere.
So, I don't. The part that I find most interesting is actually says that I guess that I fell for this, and he'll prevent my signing up, right? Because Biden came in with all these like ridiculous debate rules, like Trump only gets like a minute or 2 minutes of response, and while he's responding, he can't have his microphone on, and
it works both ways. I mean,
yeah,
Biden
it does work both ways, but that the debate hosts are going to be throwing Biden softballs for the whole.
CNN too, right? CNN.
Yeah, it's CNN. So they're not going to let Trump speak. They're going to cut him off. They're going to, try to aggravate him while giving Biden the easiest questions that he could possibly handle. Joe, what flavor of ice cream do you like this week? President Trump, do you even eat ice cream? What's wrong with you?
It goes the other way too. I've heard the argument that part of the problem is by normalizing January 6th, right, and putting in the debate category where it's the same as any other question, that it normalizes and puts Trump back in equal footing where the people argue against Biden doing the debate say you shouldn't even do that. Like he's a traitor as far as they're concerned, right? So in a way, it works both ways, right? So if you make it so that you just put that in the same category as let's talk about the economy. Now, what about that January 6th thing? Yeah. So I mean, there's that, I guess. But I think what they're counting on, and I think they're right. The Biden people, and that's why I think Trump will not do it, is because he's going to look like a buffoon because he's going to sit there doing his accordion hands in the background with his mic cut off and continue talking. He's not going to be able to get within 10 feet because there's Secret Service on both sides of each one of them. He's going to look an idiot. Yeah, if he does do it, he's going to lose because of that.
That's why
the optics of it, right?
Like, they really can't pull head up, and I don't know if that means that like they can't pick his head off up the ground or they can't really pull a head up debate challenge, But either way you take that line, it makes sense.
Man, there ain't gonna be no debate because there ain't gonna be no election because the shit is gonna hit the fan way before then, and you better hope.
It might. It's 6 months away. I mean, we're talking about how exponentially the AIs can rise. That might become the most pivotal and most important thing going on in humanity on the entire global scale we have to face, right? I was thinking of a movie called The Colossus Project, Forbin Project, Colossus Forbin Project, 1970 movie about the defense industry making this artificial intelligence to, guard the U.S. against missiles attack and whatever, right? And it becomes sentient. That's the plot. And the whole world shuts down because they have to deal with it. Like it's taking control over everything, so nobody can start a war. And nobody knows how to turn it off because they can't turn it off, right? That actually can happen. Like artificial intelligence can reach a point before we get to this point, before there's a debate ever happens, before the election ever happens, where all of a sudden that becomes the most important thing humanity faces. Forget the alien invasion. All of a sudden, how do we turn it off? How do we stop it? It
well, the other thing is too is if
6 months is a long time as far as AI technology goes. I mean, it's growing every day, like
literally. Yep.
Man, it doesn't have to grow anywhere any more than it already is. All you got to do, all it has to do is look at what happened with Cambridge Analytica, and then reproduce that shit in every single micro bubble there is. Man, people don't realize. Listen, this AI has the power to manipulate every single one of us.
Oh, absolutely.
It knows exactly how to push your buttons. For that too. Knows exactly how to push your buttons, man.
It's a digital Charlie Manson.
My fucking buttons right now.
And think about that. Absolutely going to be used to push everybody's buttons in both directions. Whichever side you choose to be on. It's gonna do its best to aggravate. I think.
Imagine that the digital Charlie Manson puppet master pushing human beings around to do its bidding.
Exactly.
Exactly. I mean, that's what it is, right? It knows how to manipulate everybody on an individual scale.
That's right.
Cambridge Analytica times 7 billion.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, creating videos and putting shit in your feeds, just setting you up and getting you ready to get angry at a certain given moment. I mean, it doesn't need, the AI doesn't need a body. It can make each other kill each other. It can make groups of people kill each other.
It already said right? That one AI already said, I'm your overlord or whatever. And I can do whatever I want to you.
Pray to me, it said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why not? I mean, at some point, on some level. I mean, on the level when the OJ trial happened and the DNA thing happened, see, back then, no one realized what was up with it. But it was like a key moment. And there's going to be a key moment that comes up with this where they say, well, AI it's infallible and it's unbiased. It doesn't have any bias. So it can be judged. So you can always go to it for a decision because it's smarter than you. And so
right, like the Oracle of Delphi, right?
Exactly.
But it's not.
No.
It's this bigoted thing.
That's the thing. Exactly. What if this was the biggest con in history? Where it really wasn't what they said it was. It got you thinking it was and got you to bow down to it. Got you to lay down and just, roll over because it's smarter than you. Forget about it, man. You might as well But I don't know. I would say, really, realistically, Epic Journeyman, I heard about some of the shit that went on that island during the pandemic. On those islands, it doesn't sound like a good place to live, man. So it doesn't sound like. I mean, the shit that was going on there. Can you imagine? I mean, I don't know, man. How did you allow that to go on there? You guys, everybody over there, all the shit that went on those islands during the pandemic. It's like not allowing you to go on the beach, all this shit.
Oh no, it's crazy. Yeah, you can walk on the beach. You could be on the beach with your family together, but you couldn't like hang out on the beach. You couldn't just walk on the beach by yourself. You could walk on the beach, but you couldn't like sit out your lawn chair and just hang out and look at the waves.
Tell me
crazy, right?
How did we get into a place where our government is telling us we can't walk on the beach?
Couldn't walk on the beach, dude. In the Hawaiian Islands on Maui, you couldn't walk on the beach. Well, you could walk, but you couldn't stop. You couldn't like hang out on the beach. But if you did hang out on the beach, it had to be just your immediate family, right? You couldn't have other people meet you. Insane, right?
Well, what if the AI decides it doesn't want you walking on the beach?
Nobody's going to walk on the beach.
There's no arguing with it, right? Well, just like there's no arguing with the mayor over there, whatever he said, whoever it was, the governor. Hey, governor, you know, what are you, the chimney sweep over there? Governor, can I walk on the beach, governor? Governor, can I walk on the beach, governor?
Dick Van Dyke right now.
Governor, can I have a pineapple, governor?
Yeah. Well, I can't do the Dick Van Dyke accent, his fake British accent, and Mary Poppins. But that's what I'm thinking of right now. You doing that?
I know.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Like chimney sweep.
It was awful.
People in England all sound like chimney sweeps. Did you see the video of the one guy? The one white English dude fighting off all these immigrants, like 20 immigrants trying to rob this guy. He fought off like 20 of them. You see that video? It's crazy.
No. At this point, I'm at the point where I don't even believe anything on video anymore.
That's
either.
what I mean.
Because you don't know. You just don't know anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
It's becoming so good at AI. We're talking about generating video, like lifetime too.
That's why they keep
really hard.
That's why they keep delaying the release of that Sorrow thing, because or whatever, Sarah, whatever the hell it's called. Because once people get a hold of it, that's it. I mean, you know, they don't want it. They don't want what you can get a hold of to be what they have. They listen. There's whole. I mean, we're at a point now where nothing you see can be real at all. You know, they could be showing you bombs going off in Gaza, and you could be in Gaza and there's nothing going on at all. I'm not saying that's going on, but I'm just saying it could be done. And what I'm hearing, and going back to the subject at hand, is they're actually using these things already in war, and they're killing people. They're hunting people down and killing them with these robots, because they're saying, Bob, listen, you got that war going? Shit, let me tell you what, man. Why don't you come on over here? Let me run a pilot program. I won't charge you a thing, okay? We'll paint these up with your uniform, okay, Bob? And we'll just release them up in there. We'll release these motherfuckers up in there and just let them kill. You know what I mean? I mean, they even got ones that eat human flesh to gain energy when their batteries run down. So Bruce McDonald's in the chat. Bruce, you want to come on? We'll add you if you'd like to join us. We've got about 40 minutes left. But so listen, Epic Journeyman, what's to stop these things, man? You're dropping them in. Kill. You know, I mean, it's only a viable tool against a human enemy. In other words, why you want to throw in your $40,000-$50,000 robot against another $40,000-$50,000 robot?
No, there's disposable drone swarms. Like the drone swarms that they were launching, Lockheed did this years ago, and they drop them from cargo planes, helicopter, whatever you want, right? Obviously, the more the merrier. So like a cargo plane's a perfect example. They drop them out of there, and their only purpose is to find a human skull and hit it. It's their only purpose, right? And just fly till they find it. And you think about this, they're disposable, right? Like once you drop it out, it's like a guided submunition, like a cluster bomb. Except instead of being cluster bombs, they tried it different ways. Like a little, first it was like a explosive on the end of the drone, aims at the human head, blows up, right? And then it tried it with like a bullet, like a bang stick, like a shark bang stick. It just hits the momentum of it hitting at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Detonates the cartridge and shoots them in the head, and that's it. And they tried it just with a spike. The cheapest way, the better, right? They just fly it till they run out of juice on their batteries or whatever, and that's it, right? But the whole time, the program is just kill, kill, kill. Just go hit them in the head. That's all it is. Now, these things, they fly into freaking trenches, they fly into the caves, they fly into the door, they fly into the window. Their only purpose is to find a human head. Think about this for a minute.
What was that movie that had that where the drones were chasing the people down?
It's a Black Mirror episode, kind of like that. But this is real though. This is like a real thing.
I know it's a real thing. No, it was a movie about some like teenage hackers. I'm sure somebody in the chat has seen it. I can't remember the name of it, but it was exactly that. Like the drones were, the AI had taken over both sides.
That's what I mean, man.
And the drones were attacking both sides.
If you Fallout, Penelope said in the chat. Listen,
Fallout, yeah.
Listen, man. You got your guns and your bullets and all that. But I'm just saying, they can drop these bitches off a helicopter. They got like 12 of them. They're hanging off. Those the feet on the helicopter, that runner thing.
Yeah, the runner. Yeah, but they put the stretchers in Vietnam and stuff. Yeah,
they do. These bitches just hook their arm on there. They just hang off of there with this big face, where they're gonna scan around looking for you. You just run up. You're just gonna run up and grab people by the throat.
Right? It's a flat around trying to kill you.
They're just gonna run up and grab people by the throat and then scan your face. No, it's not him. Toss you away to the side. You know what I mean? Oh, you got guns in your house, man? These things will come in, kick your door in, find your guns. They'll just look through the walls. They'll just find your shit. They'll go find your little
fly through your window, through your door, anything open.
Dude, they'll go in your yard and find your little PVC pipe. Bruce, are you over here promoting your channel? Bruce has a YouTube channel if you want to go over and subscribe to it. Anyways, man, listen. Facial recognition. It's all over with, man. If you got a driver's license, listen, do they have to actually scan your face? Or can they just take a picture of you from the DMV and scan it?
They scan it. They can scan it, yeah.
You can scan it.
It's your front view, right? It's not your side view. It's not a digital map of your whole body, but the face, yeah. Just a picture of driver's license for sure.
Yeah, man. For sure. 718.
Assassination weapon, right? So now you drop 30 of these things that cost a couple $100 a piece to go kill whoever, right? And if they don't find them, oh well, you just drop it again next week, right? That's where it's going to come. That's where it's going to go, like for warfare. But the problem is that it's an assassination weapon in that respect, right? But if you use it like in clearing trenches, which is what it's going to be used for right now in the war in Europe, that's exactly what it's going to be used for. And in the future, it's just going to be an extermination thing. Like, we need to clear the zone. They'll call it cleanse the zone. They'll call it something, sanitize the area, something benign like that. We need to sanitize the area. They'll just kill everything that's alive in that area, period. Doesn't matter what side of the war it's on. Everybody there needs to die. They send them out there and sanitize the area, right? And they'll do it because it doesn't care. It's the Terminator, right?
That's right.
Everything with the head is going to kill. Right. This is a new era of warfare, and it's something we need to get grips on now and start thinking about, because you don't need atomic bombs anymore. Is an atomic bomb that much more devastating than something that's looking for you specifically? You know what I mean? They can fly in your window. They can fly through your door. They can hit your window, open the car, and come get you. Right?
You can just manipulate.
That's where it's coming to.
You can just manipulate and destroy the brains of these people. And,
electronically,
that's what I mean. This thing is going to be a master manipulator. This thing is going to create the seductive character and
digital Charlie Manson
generate it. I'm just saying, it knows what kind of newscaster you want to see. It knows what you want to see for the weather girl or whatever. You know what I mean? It just makes it up. And I'm starting to think about it a little bit. Just make it up. You know?
Well, to me, once it gets to the digital personal device, when you can wear it like glasses, or it's on your retina, like a contact lens, or worse, in your brain, then reality itself can be dictated to you, to custom fit you, right? So you see things the way you are designed to see them, not necessarily the way you want to see them, but they're acceptable to you and designed to, the way you would like them to influence you. Where somebody else sees an entirely different view, depending on their personality and their archetypes and all those things. So that you're going to be mapped so well, your psychological profile is going to be mapped so well that the nudges it needs to make you act as a perfect automaton and bot out there in the real world will be directed directly at you in such a way that it's satisfying to you, where you never know that you're actually doing a deed that you might find offensive otherwise, right? It's just nudging you to do these things by giving you the feedback and the biological stimulus, right? To make you think, oh, there's a pretty girl over there, or there's I want to go see this environment over there, right? But meanwhile, all it's doing is directing the traffic, essentially, to put you in the right place at the right time to fulfill this moment it's already mapped out, right? You need to be there at this spot to make this happen and be the instigator of this action at this time to have this desired result. Like the chess master playing the guy who doesn't know how to play chess. It was the Leahy example given earlier, right? You think you're playing, but you're not really playing. It's just the master's just entertaining you long enough to go ahead and spring it on you later, right? It already knows the game was over 6 moves ago to him, right?
That's the thing about this AI shit, dude, is that there's a front. Okay? There's a front. People don't see beyond that. And beyond that, the shit that's going on is literally unbelievable, unfathomable. It's not a hamster in a wheel.
Yeah, people don't want to believe it. It's that cognitive dissonance of the idea they don't want to accept it, right? That's even real, but it is real.
Well, yeah. At what point do you say, listen, I see the writing on the wall, okay? It's going to be this way. So if I see it's going to be this way, then why don't I get ahead of it, lean into it, and then use it against them in a way that they're not ready for? Because, let me just say, the future looks like you're going to have to ID yourself to get on the internet. So you'll have to, when I come onto YouTube, I'll have to provide biometrics in order for me to go on here, because then that's the only way they can know that it's really me. Otherwise, it could be...
Or somebody mimicking you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Somebody mimicking you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that'll be the commodity, right? The mimic credentials, right? To get you onto the internet. That'll be your form of personal VPN outside the system to get you to be able to access the technology without really being part of the system. Something like that, right? So human beings are great about adapting. So the thing about the drones are going to hit you in the head. So what do? You make something that looks more like a head than your real head, right? And it's the equivalent would be like for fighter planes being pursued by infrared missiles. There's no getting around them at one point, right? Because you got the trail of your jet engines putting the heat out there, and it's got a heat signature, and it's going to get you, right? But what do? You make flares that are brighter and stronger as a decoy than the actual, engine heat coming off your plane, and that works. That distracts the seeker of the warhead and the missile, and it goes there instead of to you. So there are countermeasures to every evolution that comes around in warfare has a counter, and something like these they're going to go cheap first, right? Like the slaughter bots are going to go after your head, so you make something that looks more like your head than your actual head, and it'll go for them, and we'll figure that out, right? And that's how war works. And unfortunately, human beings are really good at warfare, and that's unfortunate. What's more unfortunate is artificial intelligence is going to be better at it than we are. That's the problem. That's the problem. We can trick it early on. Early on, we can trick it, but it's never going to forget the lessons it learned, right? Like we'll forget what they did in the 2nd century BC in China or something, right? That will work now. AI won't. Once it knows about it, it won't forget it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's the problem. That's an unfair advantage it has. Is it just doesn't forget.
No. Well, and the thing is, it can use any one of those things at any given time and then spring forward the resources and the manpower to get it done. And you never even talk to a person. You can even think you're talking to a person. Someone could call you on the phone. Hey, Bob, this is Bill. I'm downstairs. I just want to let you know. Get your ass going on that project like I told you. You know? How you going to know?
Well, and that's the end game we're talking about earlier, like the apathy index being raised so high. So when you don't have a job, you don't have a purpose, you don't have anything to do that is going to be better done by an artificial intelligence or robot, and the apathy index rises higher and higher for humanity. It's like we're giving up. That's what the apathy index really represents, is a sense of just resignation, right? What can I do, right? Mm-hmm. And once that apathy index reaches a certain point, the battle's over, right? We can't win. Once it reaches a certain point, we can't win anymore. And that's what we have to fight against. That's what it is. We have to keep people engaged. No, we're in a war, because we are in a war, right? But people don't seem to understand it, that we're in a war, right? Right now, we're in a war, and people don't know that yet. Like, it's real. It's really happening. This is 5th generation warfare. Once it gets to 6th generation warfare, people are like, what the hell is that, right? Like, yeah, that's like the subconscious mind pitted against the conscious mind. We're not there yet, thank God. But we're pretty close from the 5th generation warfare, right? We're using the archetypes, and we're playing on emotions and playing on how to build mindsets.
I had this thing for the show a couple weeks ago. I think it was last week, called the Alice in Wonderland confusion theory, and I never got to it. And but it's funny because that's what he was saying on this presentation, was the confusion aspect of the AI. The AI can cause confusion, and that's what it looks like, that kind of thing.
It's personalized, right? The Cambridge Analytica model is personalized to you specifically.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactamundo. So, I mean, it's just like we say, it's like once you realize, you see the movie set, then you realize, well, wait a minute, maybe I'm on a movie set, and I didn't realize it. 718 618 9905.
Stayed in bed all morning just to pass the time. There's something wrong here, there can be no denying. One of us is changing, or maybe we just stopped trying. And it's too late, baby, now it's too late. Though we really
718 618-9905. Is it too late? Give us a call. Let us know.
just can't fake it. Oh, no. It used to be so easy living here with you. You were light and breezy, and I knew just what to do. Now you look so unhappy, and I feel like a fool.
There you go, man. From the Tapestry LP, man, that was a big record. Man, that was a moment in time for a woman, Carole King. She's had that moment, man. Would this
songwriter?
Would this shit even get airplay today? I doubt it, man.
Well, people aren't intelligent enough anymore. I mean, I don't mean intelligent like smart intelligence.
I'm sorry.
Not subtle enough. They don't understand subtlety enough. They don't understand.
Man, I don't know.
Poetic license, you know.
Who knows? Maybe I'm just an angry old man now.
Like those guys in the Muppets, right? It's us now. Maybe.
No, Bruce.
I don't think so.
Bruce don't want to come on, Ronan. Sorry, man. You'll have to go over to his channel and check him out over there. You know what I'm saying? He's tired.
I know Jer Bear's listening.
Hey,
Maybe he'll
Jer
call
Bear.
in.
What's up, Jer Bear? So, no more late night with Jer Bear, Revolution Radio, but there's something going on at Revolution Radio, 48 hours a day, 7 days a week. Come on down, become supporters. All right, so listen. 718-618-9905. Is it too late, baby, to turn back now? You know, is it? I don't know. I would say you got a few years to put yourself in a position to unplug from it. You know? Really? I mean, how are you going to avoid being manipulated by it? Even if you avoid it, other people you know are going to be manipulated by it. And then they're going to manipulate you, even if you're not online, right?
There was a map that they made showing how Cambridge Analytica and troll parties worked. The troll parties, but it was both, like how that worked. That idea of a troll party, like deliberate trolling, right? Targeted response, and how they're not targeting you. It looked for they might be targeting you, but generally what it is they're targeting the people who have the most influence in a certain amount of circle of friends, right? They target those people to move a group. So the targeted people are the people who will nudge that group the most. So you may be an unwilling or unknowing, not unwilling necessarily, an unknowing participant by giving a certain idea that they know you're free, you know, with your speech, you're going to talk about it at work, you're going to talk about it with friends, and that's going to nudge this other group of people. And that group of people is when you're really targeting, right? So they had this whole elaborate map of how they all interlink like this like a spirograph, right? Of how they all interlink with all these lines and patterns and stuff to target the specific groups of people they need to nudge, right? To put the resources to those specific groups. It's amazing, man. That's how complex and convoluted it is. It's like, you know, human beings could maybe do it. This targeted psychographics in such a way that, you know, over years of study and getting polls, and you can't trust the polls and data on each individual. But now you have all these data points that the computers, you know, the program is gathering, the artificial intelligence is gathering. And now you use it to direct it to target the specific groups for specific effects later on. And you are part of that moving filter bubble, right? That nudges everybody else in your filter bubble, right? But the overall effect is a grander scheme you can't see. You can't see the forest or the trees.
No.
It's looking at the forest.
You just see the front,
pattern.
dude. You just see the front because the AI is creating a facade. There's a facade, but you don't
want you to go beyond that. It wants you only to see the.
But you can't understand what's beyond that because the facade exists for you to perceive, but your ability to perceive beyond the facade is impossible. Your brain cannot conceive what's beyond the facade as far as these AIs and these machines go. Period. The end. 718-618-9905. Give us a call. It's too late.
My mama told me, she said, son, please beware. There's this thing called love, and it's...
This isn't like going down to Universal Studios or whatever and walking behind the neighborhood and seeing nothing there but ropes and lights. You can't see what's behind this facade, man. It exists, and it's going all the time on a level. I mean, imagine the Bitcoin mining as just like an idea. All these machines in the dark constantly grinding away. Every millisecond, grinding and grinding, grinding. That's going on right now. The computing power that's going on right now. I mean, they said that 3/4 of the energy that was being used across the planet was being used to mine Bitcoin. They were literally turning it down. Imagine the ability of some of these universities, the computing power, these machines, or pooling of all these personal computers. The Epic Journeyman are the
millions of them, right?
Millions.
Millions and
I'm
millions.
here listening to millions. Yeah, no, I was lulled into a lullaby about that song a little bit. Yeah, you know, there's something about some of those old songs, those crooners back in the 70s, man. It's kind of soothing, man. You know, you listen to it and you're just kind of like,
I know, it's like Bruce.
And he listens to the words, you're like, wait a minute.
It's like it's like Bruce Willis in 12 Monkeys when he's listening to the old commercials from back in the day. He all of a sudden gets a calm look on his face.
His reality, yeah. That's a thing, you know. Reality anchors, I abuse it. I don't know if I coined the term. I like to think I did, but you know, it's catching on anyway. Reality anchors is a thing.
Well, those musical tones that we just listened to, you know, I played some Terrence Howard the other day on Sunday, and there's a moment where he talks about your DNA tightening. And he says when you're hearing like a song from back in the day, when all you and your buddies were all partying or whatever, and you hear that song, that your DNA tightens up. And so, you know, a lot of these repetitive psychic driving methods that were used on these songs remind us meme style, 5th generation warfare. This Cornelius, this music reminded you of a time in your life. You know, when the sun...
no, it did. I was right back there. That's what I'm saying. Like my delay was me being that time. I'm like, wow, you know, it's amazing how well it did that too.
Well, like, and here's the thing with this music, the sun was yellow and everything was mellow back then. You know, people were singing about love and this and that, getting in love, falling in love, staying in love, finding the right person, all this. That's when they wanted everybody to reproduce. You know, back then everything was about love, you know, this and that. Now they don't want people reproducing. So the lyrics about a whole bunch of other shit.
It's changing, man. They want people to start reproducing again because they realize they messed up. Like they got the one-child policy in China, and now that's oops. We need to start same thing all over the world. I mean, yeah, all of a sudden, certain nations anyway realize they messed up on that. Right? They're like, we have to turn that around because you need to have like a 2-to-1 ratio, pretty much, or I think it's not 2-to-1. It's like 1 point whatever 6-to-1 or something like that ratio. To sustain your population, and after that you start going in decline. Like Japan, for example, is in decline, and China's in decline because of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's
actually the U.S. is in decline now too.
It is. Yeah,
we're below that's that what they mean. They got to ship in for those declining populations. They got to ship in new young bloods.
Yeah, that's true. That's the whole immigration policy, right?
That's what they're
doing.
Why
it's counterproductive to go against immigration, right? Because that's what America's founded on. I'm
saying that's what's going on around the world right now. Is they're replacing these older people with young up and comers, man. You know, dudes that are military age without families. They're just coming across the border.
Well, that's not the idea. You want families
just
coming over, right?
Millions of them. They're just coming in here. And for some reason, they get these credit cards, you know. So I'm just wondering if at some point, you know, their cell phone's gonna ring. And it's gonna be somebody speaking in their native tongue.
Kingsman, right? It's a Kingsman. The signal goes out, goes up over his head. Yeah.
718-618-9905. 718-618-9905. Give us a call. How long has this been going on? Well, I don't know.
Don't admit that it's part of a scheme, but I can't help but have my suspicion, 'cause I ain't quite as dumb as I seem. And you said you was never intending.
Seems like there was a lot of cheating going on back here in the 70s too. A lot of these songs are about dudes and their old ladies, you know, cheating on them. See,
all country music for the 70s is basically cheating wives, right? It is, you know. And that their dog got run over by a train or something. I mean, yeah, it's funny how that there's a theme. There is a theme. I mean, it's not just country music. I mean, there is. Like this is a pop.
All my exes live in Texas. That's why I lives in Tennessee. Did you see what happened in Houston today?
What happened in Houston? Maybe not.
You didn't hear about it? Oh man,
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, let me just say, first of all, they said yesterday or a couple days ago, they came out and said Houston's not a safe place to walk around, that there was murderers walking around the streets. And then today, 120-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, go check it out. There was over a million people out of power in Houston earlier today. I don't know what the situation is now. I don't have my finger on the pulse of...
My regards to my friends in Houston. I was stranded there for 3 weeks while I was waiting to fly over to Iraq. and I got to say, I'm less than impressed with Houston.
Houston's
honestly.
a shithole.
Dude, it's hot, it's muggy, it's freaking miserable.
No, and it's
and it's not necessarily the people of civilization. I just mean like it's in a terrible place, man. Like that Corpus Christi, or like why do people live there? I don't understand. And it's a port city, obviously, but dude, yeah, air conditioning. Without air conditioning, uninhabitable, completely.
Well, without water, life in the desert's nearly impossible.
Indeed, it is. Yep.
But who needs electricity when you got the internet? That's what I always say. All right, listen. We got about 15 minutes left. And so I've had a week. And then last week before this, I had an ear infection. So it's like 2 weeks of intense stress I've been under. And I'm sick of it. And so I'm ready to...
Just let the AI take over. Yeah, go ahead, kick back, put on autopilot, right?
I know.
I mean, don't you think that's a temptation that's going to happen? Like once. So I sent a link, and Jimmy's confirmed about. There's an article in Wired magazine that came out 2 days ago, and it's about the new AI assisted search and how it changes search engines forever. We're already seeing it. People aren't noticing it necessarily yet, but what it is it's directing tailor-made searches for you. This kind of profiling we're talking about, it's already in play. It's giving you directed information on your search requests, specifically tailor-made for you by your psychographic profile, right? It's already happening, like right now, today, right? And it's going to get more and more overt about it. And that's what they're talking about in this article from Wired, which I can try to link maybe in the chat here if we have time. What it is just basically... it's not an echo chamber or filter bubble so much. It's just tailor-made, which kind of implies the same thing, but it's subtly done in such a way that it's going to make the most clicks on your side, right? Because it wants you to click, right, to be engaged. It's engagement harvesting, and that's how these internet companies in Silicon Valley make their money is engagement harvesting. The more clicks you make, the more money they make to their corporate sponsors that advertise on their platforms, right? And so this tailor-made search engine is AI controlled, which ties directly to what we were talking about earlier, to where it knows you, it's going to direct you. It's actually nudging your searches in such a way that it's conversational, essentially. Like, it's
the Alice in Wonderland confusion thing is it's Department of Defense interrogation thing, but it's more than that. But you can just, if you type that in, it should come up. So I forget if it's Department of Defense or it's one of the armed forces or something. I can't remember right this minute, but I can bring it to the table tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Pacific. We'll be doing our Saturday night show. Are we doing the Saturday night show tomorrow night, Rock and Rio?
I suppose so.
All right. Well, listen, 7 o'clock Pacific tomorrow night, we'll be back, and we'll bring some of the loose ends back to the table for tomorrow. Maybe we'll bring the Alice in Wonderland.
I'll bring the article about the tailor-made searches.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll tie up some of these loose ends. We got about 9 minutes left. 718-618-9905. Give us a call. 718-618-9905. Give us a call.
The show went by quick tonight.
You think so?
I do.
Well, let's see how quick we are. Let's see if we're on our feet. We're quick on our feet right now. I think we're still in the top 10, but I think we've fallen. Yeah, we're still in the top 10, but we've fallen to number 10.
No.
But we're losing energy.
We just got to beat Steve Bannon. Now we're going to beat Steve Bannon.
I heard Steve Bannon's going to prison.
Yeah, it's going to be jail. So we're going to be beating them those weeks or months, right? It's going to be it's 4 months, right? He goes to jail for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
But
all right. Well, listen, I've had it. Enough is enough, as my grandma used to say.
He's not going to jail. He's going on a vacation in Antarctica.
Exactly.
He might be, man. That's the thing. Like these guys who go to those federal prison stints, where are they going really? Like Noriega, dude, that guy's, partying at the country club, man, all these years, right?
Are we getting a call?
We do. Yeah, we do have a call. Hang on.
Figures. There we go.
Hey, you guys.
Hey.
Hey,
It's
actually, we got
Penelope.
2 calls.
Oh, 2 calls. Go ahead.
816.
It's Penelope.
Penelope.
Penelope?
How are you guys? Okay,
Hey.
so I dropped the link to the Gregory Bynes CIA Alice in Wonderland. It's pretty interesting. It would be worth a conversation because a lot of people, right now, so many things are so confusing. But I wanted to know, did you guys see that they just sold our reserves for helium?
They sold them?
And yeah, they sold them off. They put them at auction. They actually, they had to meet a sustainability that was put in place in 2020. And so it was auctioned off in 2021, and now it's due to go through. But this company called MERS, MERSE, and they use it for MRI machines, all kinds of things. So that would be a really good topic tomorrow.
Yeah, because America has the highest reserves of helium naturally, which was the whole thing with the Hindenburg accident air quotes with the hydrogen in the Zeppelin, right? So
Texas,
they had a
Kansas,
magnesium
and Oklahoma.
frame too. But here's what's cool. It's like if fusion takes off, then that's a useless commodity because that's the byproduct of fusion is helium, right? So in a way, they're getting ahead of the curve, which is adding to my argument that it's much closer than people think. Like fusion's way closer than people think. Yeah, I just know because I worked in it that it really is close, man. It's really close.
But fusion.
Yeah, well,
fusion's only going to be for the elite people. We won't be here for that. But go ahead.
I hope that's not true. Yeah.
Go ahead.
But see, if it is, it makes sense too, right? Like we're going to be the basement dwellers in Metropolis, right? Underground, slaving for no reason, really.
Mm-hmm.
They live a life of luxury up above.
Well,
that's depressing. We can't end on that.
All right, so
Penelope. No.
All righty.
Well,
you guys have a good night.
Thanks for calling.
All right, thanks
Penelope.
Thanks.
All right, who do we got there? Go ahead.
385.
385. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Tom in Utah.
Hey, Tom.
You might check into a website called poisoningthepoor.com, see if that's worthy of discussion.
Oh, yeah.
About
I think you called.
34 million.
You've called us before. I tried to pass your information around to a few of the people I know in the alternative media so they get your word out about what's going on. So appreciate that, Tom. What's the name of the website?
Well, Poisoning the Poor will get you there. It's an alias. Actually, the root webpage is called Gassing America.
Right, Gassing America.
Yeah, gassingamerica.com.
All right,
it
there you go.
impacts a tenth of the population.
All right, well, listen.
A tenth.
We appreciate you, Tom. Thanks for calling. It's been a long week.
Yeah, I finally found the phone number. I'm glad you're doing that, repeating of the phone number. That makes it easy.
Badass. Well, thanks for calling, Tom. Hope you have a great night.
Okay. Stay out of trouble.
All right, we're trying. All right, you guys, you ready to go? It's time to go, man.
Yep, we are out of time. You guys got to start calling in earlier, man.
Yeah, call in earlier.
Get 2 minutes at the end of the show.
Yeah, we'll see you guys. Here's Snow Patrol on the way out. Somewhere a clock is ticking.
You can't wait. I could do most anything to you.
We'll see you tomorrow night. Say good night, you guys. We're out of here.
Good night.
Good night, you guys. Ready.
Good night, everybody.
Dripping off my fingertips. I could do most anything. Wage your war. Wage your war. I could do most anything. Another soldier says he's not afraid to die. I could do most anything. I am scared. I'm so scared. I could do most anything to you. slow motion. The blast is beautiful. I could do most anything. Door slam shut. Door slam shut. I could do most anything. Our clock is ticking, but it's hidden far away. I could do most anything. Safe and sound. Safe and sound.